minutes late. We're okay. Couple
Yep.
minutes late.
Yeah, as long as we're only like 10, that's not bad.
Yeah, couple minutes
like
late
with the Diaz brothers and stuff.
All right.
Yeah, I had a little trouble on my end, but oh well. At least I get to go on your channel and throw it on mine right after.
We made it. We're live. Me and my friend Jake Shields. We're here to talk about all the most disgusting things in the world right now, aren't we, Jake?
Yeah, the least surprising thing in all this is that Trump is compromised by Israel. Like, that's not even shocking. It's like, yeah, we already know.
Yeah, yeah, that's like basically you hear that and you're like, okay, cool, whatever. Sorry for being late, guys. As you can see, this little demon in the corner, she jumped on my laptop and closed out all my browsers with everything that was set up right before we went live. So
good thing she's cute.
Yeah, so Munchkin kind of beat us up on that. Jake couldn't remember his password to his YouTube channel to go live on his channel.
I hit in the head for 20 years for a living. I mean, it's pretty impressive that I even have a podcast and successful at multiple things.
That's true. You did get punched in the face for a living for what, 2 decades?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Excited to be here. We'll let everybody keep filtering into the show.
Yeah,
Jake, you just got done doing an episode.
So I think we should give a second.
yeah. We're not going to jump straight into it. We'll let everybody get in here. Jake, you just got done doing an episode on the Epstein stuff today, didn't you?
Yesterday, I've did last 2 days. It's just so explosive that it's like I might have to do a few more. I usually, like I said, typically I haven't been doing lives, but I'm learning when the story is this big, it's like all I want to talk about. I have some big episodes I just recorded, but I decided to put them on the back burner. Like great conversation with Jimmy Dore, but we don't talk with Epstein files. People are gonna be like, I don't want to see this, even though I think it's a great interview
right now,
but it's just not the timing for it.
Yeah, no, right now it's unless you're a MAGA podcaster, then you're not saying shit about this story.
Yeah,
dude.
You're quiet. The Democrat, both sides, because MAGA's being like, did you see Bill Gates got chlamydia from a hooker? And then you got the other side, like it's Bill. What are they saying? Bill Clinton or Obama, whatever the hell they're saying. Dude.
It's all of them.
It's all of them. Like. You had an excellent video you made, one of the few people, team, I don't know if you say the word P, of what they all, and you had pictures of all of them, both sides. This is not a left versus right issue. This is evil people, they're doing it together. Bill Clinton and Trump are laughing, hanging out together. That's the unfortunate truth. And people don't want to admit that.
Yeah. And it's almost, I was thinking about this right before we got on here. Just thinking back, I'm like, the fact they were so brazen about it. If you look back on it, like they filmed everything, they took pictures of everything. Everything is sent on unclassified email servers. It's almost like they thought they were going to get away with this shit forever because they were so powerful, and it was all of them, left, right, center. They're all involved in this. So like, I feel like they thought nobody could ever take us down.
Well, no one has taken them down yet. They're still blatantly do it right in front of us. I don't think Epstein's dead, which we're going to probably get into.
We'll talk about that first.
I did think he was dead. I did believe he was dead. But after I just made a video of it today, that'll probably drop tomorrow, looking into a little more. I no longer believe that.
And
I guess
I've got some of your posts and your pictures that we're going to take a look at. That, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. We're going to look at his cell. We're going to look at pictures of him potentially on his island afterwards.
Yeah.
And I want to tell a story once we get into it of this actual prison. Because I think I was telling you about it. One of my friends that's a federal marshal actually is very well versed in delivering people to and from this exact prison. And I talked to him about this years ago and asked him when we found out Epstein unalived himself. This is probably 5 years ago. We talked about it. And I was like, is this even something to be remotely possible in a prison like this? And his immediate response, and then I'll tell the story here later, was, it would be the easiest thing ever to swap his body out. So yeah, it's pretty creepy right now.
Yeah. And there's about 10 pieces of information that support this. And I heard little pieces, thought back into my head, but ultimately I believed he was dead. I mean, I guess I'll name a couple of the pieces real quick. A big one is there was a 4chan post that had been out. It's been talked about for a while. It was before he was announced dead, about an hour before. Someone goes, exact wording basically, basically Epstein was taken out, wheeled out in a wheelchair, taken into a white van with guys in military uniforms. He said this is something that is never done on the weekends. There was no tracking it. No paperwork was written down. They just wheeled him into the van. The guy said, I'm shaking right now.
Yep.
4chan. It was an hour before, so it was still kind of a big deal. But where it gets interesting is there was a subpoena on who posted that. And the subpoena shows is a guy, Roberto.
So this is one of the posts I had ready for us, and then Munchkin deleted it. God damn it. I'll pull it up as you're talking about it.
Yeah, but yeah, this guy Roberto, he was a lieutenant at the prison. He was the only guy that wasn't sleeping, apparently. Everyone else had fallen asleep, and all the video cameras stopped working, except the one that later came back with some edited video. So this guy was a prison guard that reported this, and this was an hour before it was known that he allegedly killed himself. It's just one of the pieces, but this is a big piece right here.
This is actually your post from today. I don't know if I can blow it up.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw that subpoena. And why did this guy, the FBI, did they not investigate him? Did they not ask him why you reported that? I think more likely they threatened him.
Yeah, so this is the post. Sorry, guys, it's going to be small. I had one that I could blow up earlier, but again, we lost.
Yeah, I was lost
the post. But yeah, his post was saying, he said, not saying anything after, do not try to dox me, but last night at 04:15 in the morning they took him to medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage nurse says they spoke to him. Next thing I know, a trip van shows up. We do not release on the weekdays or weekends unless a judge orders it. Next thing we know, he's put in a single man cell and he hangs himself. Here's the thing. The trip van did not sign in and did not record the plate number. And a guy in a green dress military outfit was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. You guys, I'm shaking right now. I think they switched him out. And then there was more actually like showing from your records here. Oh, here, this is better. This pulls all the way up. That this is him, right? And it actually is his actual, he did work at this prison.
It's a subpoena. They subpoenaed it, but they didn't report on it after they subpoenaed it. It's like, so why did they subpoena the guy? They probably wanted to threaten the guy. That's what I think. Did you see Jeffrey Epstein's brother was threatened? There's some very disturbing emails saying they're going to kill his children. It's like the boss of Epstein. They're going to kill his children. And it's just,
so this prison,
you see why people flip now.
Oh yeah, this prison's interesting, and the reason why I saw your post on this, I thought this was so fascinating is, like I said, one of my buddies, he's still active. I'm not going to say who he is. But he used to transport El Chapo back and forth from this prison while he was going through his trial years ago. And when I asked him about it, do you think this is possible? And he said, it would be the easiest thing ever. He told me a story about how inept and how like unsecured this prison really is. That there was a time they brought El Chapo back from trial for whatever was going on at the day. They get to the back gate where they like bring in the prisoners, like the law enforcement bringing prisoners back to the cells. So there's one guy, as they pull in, there's one guy outside the door, and he's literally eating KFC fried chicken by himself, just standing outside as they roll up.
El Chapo had escaped several prisons. Isn't that the guy that was known for escaping? I think it was El Chapo, right? That's why they brought him to the U.S. He kept escaping. Oh, shit. I lost your volume. Hold on. I can't hear you. Hey. Hello? Shit, I can't hear volume. Hold on. Yo. Hello? I can't hear him. I can't hear him. Hopefully I'll hear him now. I don't know what the issue is. All kinds of mess ups today. Damn, I still can't hear you. Hopefully get this fixed right away. They're messing with it right now. This is disaster on my end. He can hear me. I don't know. There's no volume on my end. Well, I apologize. We're trying to get this worked out right away. You can cover for a second while we're trying to figure this out. This is not good. Oh, he says relog real quick. Might be him. He said he'll be back in a second. He says he's in. Okay. Well, that's at least good. That was like another fuck up. That's he said he's relogging. So help me log back in. Do we need Ron to log back in or no?
You know, it's amazing, Jake.
All right. I can hear you.
It only happened 3 times where my microphone and my stream goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Other 2 times this happened. I swear to God, my chat.
I don't think they like this conversation.
It was exactly what was about this. But the 2 times were about our greatest ally. Like deep in it, 2 times. As soon as I start talking about it, that's the only 3 times this has ever happened.
Not evil, satanic people.
It's a coincidence, I'm sure, guys.
Yeah, these people with all the power would never do that, you know.
Yeah.
They wouldn't send like the FBI after guys like me and you.
I don't know where I got cut off there about my buddy that worked and was dropping El Chapo off. Anyway, guys, security guard outside eating KFC chicken by himself as a bunch of federal marshals, special operation guys get out with literally El Chapo, the biggest criminal in America at the time. They walk up and the guy goes, "Who are you guys?" As they've got El Chapo with them, full kit, full tactical gear. And they're like, "We're federal marshals. We're here to bring back El Chapo." And the guy's like, "Yeah, okay, you can hand him off to me." And they're like, yeah, maybe we'll like help escort him back up to his cell. And he's like, "Nah, dude, we're good. We got it." And they're like, open the door and they're like, okay. And they just hand him off. And this guy, as he's eating KFC chicken, just walks El Chapo randomly somewhere into the prison. And you're just like, he was like, dude, you have no idea how easy it probably would be for like if the government or somebody that had access to that prison wanted to swap him out. He was like, dude, it would be so easy.
Well, let's see who had access. Who was the head of the DOJ? The DOJ at the time, William Barr. Yeah. William Barr, dad, is the guy who hired Jeffrey Epstein as a math teacher to.
I know, yeah, isn't that crazy? The connections.
Yeah, and he wrote a book. I think Galactic Space Galactics. And the book is literally about these elites on this other planet. They get bored, so they start kidnapping, torturing, raping, breeding humans, goy, basically taking them and abusing them. And he converted religions. He happened to be Jewish and converted and says he's a Christian now, by the way. People don't know.
Of course. Yeah. Is my mic okay, guys? Somebody said the mic's bad. Are we good?
I can hear you fine, but
okay. Yeah, if you can hear me fine, we should all.
So that's okay. So that was the head of the DOJ, or his son's head of the DOJ. But then did you see that report? It's so insane and outlandish by itself. You would laugh at it, but this girl says she got kidnapped and woke up and she had Jay-Z, who was Jay-Z, right here, William Barr, Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, I believe Pusha T. It's one of those stories you're like, sure, lady. But then when you see the connections in all these people over and over, it's just.
Yeah, it's right here, dude. There they are. There's a woman says she was drugged and sexually abused by Pusha T, Epstein, Jay-Z, and Harvey Weinstein. Here's the documents to it that you were just saying. And to your point, okay, it sounds ridiculous, right? Except for that, guess what? Jay-Z just fled the country and deleted his Instagram accounts. Did you see that?
I did not. That's saying a lot.
We could pull them up. If we just go, all of us together, if you want to do it at home, you can too. Let's go ahead and take a look at Jay-Z's let me pull this up. Jay-Z's Instagram page right now, as of today.
I don't know a lot about Jay-Z, but I know he was tied in with that witch.
Well, he also has a track record. He started dating Beyonce when she was like 16, man. He's got a track record well before this, but here he is. Here's his account, completely scrubbed.
Yeah.
And he supposedly just left the country. So what are the odds that that's probably true then? You know, also, I guess Beyonce lost like 10 million followers today as well.
Yeah, this stuff just sounded so outlandish. They thought it had to be false. But when you start seeing hundreds of reports of the same people, same things, and it's not other random people getting accused of this. And that Abramovich girl, she did spirit cooking things with Hillary Clinton. She had these art exhibits where they'd set up and they pretended to be cannibalism, pictures with babies she's holding. It's demonic. Look down that rabbit hole. Zelensky requested her to work in her government by name.
Who else is in the files that Epstein is connected to? Zelensky. It's just like, it's almost like you can't name Tony Blair, right? Like, it's almost you can't name a world leader from 1980 to 2010 that isn't in these files.
Yeah.
It's and all the most powerful people, Hollywood, corporate, government, it's all of them, dude.
We all owe our crazy uncle an apology that we thought was full of conspiracy theorists. It's like, it's just...
all the people who covered Pizzagate that we said that's too crazy to be true. We should probably say Lasagnagate. I've heard social media is really trying to hammer that story.
They banned that because what happened is some crazy deranged guy went in. What did he shoot? The server at the place. Oh, that's what he decided to shoot. I believe he's dead now. And that's when they're like, oh, it's a dangerous conspiracy theory. Can't talk about this. Although it's well known that pizza's code word for pedophilia. And that's in these Epstein files, I believe, a thousand or thousands of times.
Yeah, I've got that. We're going to pull up here in a little bit too, just to talk about, Lasagnagate. But I wanted to show, you posted this earlier.
This is crazy.
This photo is old, right? Like nobody thought this was real.
It's after I saw it too. It was a real photo. I'm like, oh, I can't. You just rationalize this stuff away one part at a time. Because I'd seen all this. It's a photo 6 months.
6 months ago.
Yeah, or 6 months after the reported death, I believe.
Yep.
And he's just there, just hanging out in his island. And it was definitely confirmed that he still had security and everything was up running. The island was active.
Well, and Jake, there's people using his bank account still. Somebody is still using his bank account to this day.
Yeah, and you know the name of his bank or one of his banks?
I don't.
Baal, which is the god
of course.
Baal or Baal, however you pronounce it, which
B-A-A-L. Yeah, Baal.
Yep.
Yeah.
The god of sacrifice, I believe. And I don't know like a lot about him. I need to do a little research, but I believe that's like the god of sacrifice or demon.
Yeah. That Baal transcends like a bunch of different cultures and religions, but typically it's demonic. Typically it does involve a lot of things like that. Now, with this photo, right? And again, before we thought this was crazy, there's no way. Now you kind of go, kind of this makes sense. Where do you think he would be? This is kind of a loaded question. Where do you think he would be? Where do you think he would actually be now? Right? He's got to be living his life out somewhere.
We have an ally, a really close ally of ours, you know, that
he potentially was an asset for.
Yeah, I could see him maybe be hanging out there with that other pedo that got arrested here in Vegas that was released and sent back there. I actually just requested the body cam footage from that. That'll be interesting through like the legal processing. Surprised no one else has dropped that.
It seems so crazy to me, the idea of like we almost like joke about the idea, oh, this is so silly. But then now with these new Epstein file releases and you're hearing about all the worst possible things that were conspiracies are turning out to just most likely be true. To where you're like, okay, well, maybe
it's hard to comprehend. It's been a rough few days for me trying to like process this all. I think we're both fathers and stuff, and it's just such a level of demonic evil that's still running our thing, and it seems likely to be true. I hope it's not. I hope I'm some crazy conspiracy theorist, but like the amount of evidence just seems overwhelming at this point. Like
I would say there's tens of millions of files. And they're all starting to corroborate each other. You know what I mean? Like we're starting to actually like have the curtain pulled back a little bit. My question is why? Why do you think we're being allowed to see this all of a sudden? Isn't that kind of bizarre?
Yeah. They're still holding 3 million files, by the way.
Right. Right.
One idea is possibly as like a warning to Trump, like, because allegedly they have pictures of him torturing and killing kids.
I've heard that.
Yep. You better do what we tell. I don't know if that's the truth. It's a possibility. Maybe someone rogue in the DOJ just fluttered him out because he's just so sick and disgusted by these people. And he's like, if they kill me, they kill me. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I was wondering the same thing. I'm like, if this is what they released, wow. And I believe you saw that clip of the DOJ guy where he's all, we haven't released things of children and people being molested, harmed, and death.
Which he just straight up admitted that there's photos and videos of dead, probably children
people being harmed, and it's stuff we don't want to imagine. It's the stuff they've told us, the crazy loony, and Wiener's laptop, I'm telling you, and Pizzagate, and all the satanic panics all have the exact same pattern they follow.
And well, to your point, is they told us we were all, that's silly. Those are like just silly conspiracy theories. There's no way any of that would be true.
Yeah.
Not even silly.
They banned.
You got stuff like George H.W. Bush emails talking about him R-ing and watching ritual sacrifice with children. It's like, bro.
Yeah. Trump and again, things.
This is what they're letting us see. I got to imagine this is nowhere near the worst. This is just like what they're like, hey, let's give them some carrots. Yeah.
I mean, he said they have videos of it.
Oh, and I'm sure.
Why is there no arrest? No one's being arrested, though. It's
and who's going to be arrested, guys?
Probably. Do you think there's going to be maybe us?
Yeah,
I've heard the FBI has been calling friends of mine recently and whatnot. A little scary, you know.
Yeah, actually, we probably will get arrested before anybody in the Epstein files just for talking about it. But more with that. Where was I going with that one? Okay, yeah, I wanted to pull this up because this is involved in it. This was what we were just talking about with Bush Sr. And hold on. And his ties deeply into the CIA as a former CIA director himself. I don't know how that ties in, but I mean, it says here, thanks blank. This is it's interesting, right? They don't tell us when they redact these.
They redacted the people that are saying, I love your tour. I don't know if I can say the
right. They're not redacting. You notice how they're not redacting victims here? They're just redacting the actual
names of the evil people.
They're redacting the evil people, which is like, dude, you guys are the worst. But on this one, it says, thanks blank. I didn't realize Bush R'd him too. And then they talk about, it's pretty, I don't even want to read it out because it's so bad, but ritual sacrifice and
it's hard, like
R'ing and murdering children from a president of the United States. And so again, like to what we're just talking about, it's all so over the top, so gross. It seems so unrealistic that it's hard to take seriously, but I think it's obviously real. This shit's it's real. It's happening or happened.
Yeah.
I would say still happening probably.
Yeah. Around 2 years ago, I started looking at some of the satanic ritual panics. There's like a lot of truth to that. I don't think on this today we'll get too into it. Things like the Finders cult, Franklin scandal. There's one, I can't remember enough names, like the Dro case, something in Belgium. That's the one when I realized it was real, because there's like arrests, 27 witnesses and people involved with the investigation got murdered. They have all the bodies, all the kids that survived said all the leads were involved. They convicted some guy on welfare who had 12 homes. He said he was just a pawn. It's just, our news never covered it. There was mass protests of 100,000 people all around Belgium because it was so obvious the leads for torturing and killing kids over there. And it just got buried. No one got arrested. Well, a guy got arrested on welfare. That's the guy they prosecuted
for some welfare fraud.
Well, they blamed it on him, but he said he was a pawn. Everyone involved said he was a pawn.
We think that sounds crazy that our government didn't cover that, but bro, our government is not covering this today.
That's
mainstream
crazy.
media is not watching
mainstream media, but I've heard the same thing, and that is crazy.
I'll pull it up right now, bro. We don't have to worry about it. Let's go to Fox News, right? Real quick. And I did this in my video. If we go, it doesn't matter how far you scroll down. It's all, what is it? It's
right now.
Jesse Waters talking about probably Minneapolis and Don Lemon and ICE. And I could scroll down for the next 50 videos.
Oh my
Iran. Mark Levine talking about Iran. Like,
there is no Epstein files. Go to war, goy.
But they're not even saying that. They're not even saying there isn't no Epstein file. They're not trying to defend them. They're just literally black media, mainstream media, and the MAGA influencers. They've gone black on comms, dude. It's like they aren't even acknowledging that this even happened.
So they're not even attacking people like us. They're just radio.
No, they're just silent. Silence from everyone.
Look at some of these big Twitter accounts because this is This is insane. This is by far the biggest story of the year, a couple years, decade. Like, I canceled all my other things I had recorded I was planning this week because there's nothing else people want to hear about, in my opinion. Things would just bomb. It's the story of the decade, probably, and it's just silence.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, that's what I did my episode on today, was exactly that. Like, if you go to, well, there is one person who covered it on the right, and it was Officer Tatum. And do you know what his video was titled?
What?
His I swear to God, and we could look at it, but his video was titled, and I'm shit you not, how the new Epstein, it's not perfectly like this, but like how the new Epstein file release exonerates Trump and embarrasses Democrats. And I'm like,
yeah, those Democrats.
And I'm like, bro, I get it. There's, and trust me, it's, and I'm not a one side or the other. I think it's all, yeah, it's all of them. It's Democrats, Republican, they're all gross, but it's also like, dude, did you miss all of this? Like, this is like 10 pages of allegations of Trump R-ing 13-year-old girls. Like, what do you mean this exonerates Trump?
It's always 13-year-old girls too. People have a type. If I could guess, Trump's type is 13. When you have multiple 13-year-olds accused of things, one of them, by the way, was murdered after the guy was concerned about, after going police, that she was going to get killed in the tip line, and then she had her head blown off.
Yeah, I mean, and there's actually a bunch of those kind of in those same files that sort of allege with that. And so it's like, what are you guys talking about, dude?
It's embarrassing.
Like, there's 10 pages of this stuff. There's dozens of allegations. And it's not just Trump, it's Clinton, it's Gates, it's all of them. But like, the idea of what I don't understand is, I mean, I'd say we're like conservative guys, right? Like,
yeah,
overall,
we lean conservative, but I'm just so disgusted by the Republican Party. Like, there's no way I vote Republican.
Same with, I mean, exactly. Yeah. I'm on board with you 100% on that. But my point is, like, you would think, even as conservative guys, or if you were MAGA, if you found out, for me, you found out the conservative guy in charge, most likely it looks like, was R-ing 13-year-old girls for, I don't know, probably 2 decades. Why are you defending that?
That's my red line. You have to have a red line. Like, even got into an argument with Nick Fuentes, who's been a friend of mine a while. We talked to the phone. It's just like, bro, I'm just not, wearing the Epstein shirt and stuff. I should have called you first, maybe, instead of saying something publicly. But walking around wearing that Epstein shirt, saying he's based and has aura, that's my red line, bro. If that's the direction you're going, then
so I've got to
have to split ways. I appreciate everything he's done in the past, and hopefully that's not the direction he's going. But I have a red line, and that's my red line.
I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up once I can get my technical difficulties tonight, man. Of course, like, now my internet's just not working. This is the craziest shit ever, dude. Munchkin might be bought off by Mossad because she was up on my keyboard exiting everything out right before we started. But I do have, here it is. I got it. I got this exact clip that we were just talking about. And again, I talked about this before too. I've been a big supporter of Fuentes for the last couple months. I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but
friends, but I let him know.
But I mean, this recent stuff, that's my red line. And I'm gonna show it. What is this, dude?
Jeff Epstein, not a pedophile, but you're not ready for that conversation. All of his victims, 14 to 17. That's not pedophilia.
Well, but I mean, like, that statement right there.
No, it's not good. The way I look at it, he's a virgin. He doesn't have kids. I try to give him the benefit of the doubt and just hope it's a really bad take. But I
think he's trying to be an edgelord, and it's like, dude, this ain't it. This ain't the time to be an edgelord.
I agree. I told him. Let's
keep watching it real quick.
It was an attempt to humor, but it was a huge miss.
Well, we can't say that.
Ain't ready for that.
Good thing I paused that at the perfect time.
So today, Nick Fuentes goes onto X and says, my application for Kick partnership program was approved on Wednesday. By today, Monday, Kick terminated my account from their partnership program for no reason. Now, here's the interesting part.
He's wearing Epstein merch, dude.
Yeah, it's just not cool. And that's why I went off this thing with Stico. I mean, I guess I should have called or texted Nick. People do happy. I get it. I hate it when friends talk crap about me too, but it was one of those things. Father, it just really, really bothered me. And I just not standing with that.
I think he's trying to be an edgelord, and it's like, dude, not what we're talking about now is This is just a whole nother level of disgusting of what's been going on. I saw some of the pictures I think you posted with Big E and like literal like 5-year-old kids, dude.
Yeah, I posted one because they're being like, it's not pedophile. So I posted one. It's like a 5 or 6-year-old. And I think, I don't remember that conversation, but it was like, well, you make jokes about Hitler. I'm like, there's a little bit of difference. And this is like
there's a huge difference
coming out now. He wouldn't have liked Epstein, I don't think.
I doubt it.
Yeah,
I would probably would have gotten rid of Big E immediately based off of what we know his thing. That's what I don't understand with Nick. It's like, dude, you're the whole Israel's the problem guy, and then you're like simping for one of the biggest obvious like Mossad agents in the history of everything.
I think he was trying to be edgy and different, and it was a huge miss. That's what I'm hoping and thinking, but we'll see where things go from here, because that's
hopefully
my red line.
It seems like he's doubling and tripling down, and it's just like, dude, this ain't it, man. This ain't it. Because
if that's the case, they'll have to disassociate, because that's my red line.
But it's also, who he's aligning himself with? MAGA, Ben Shapiro. He sounds like Ben Shapiro. And it's like, dude, if you're going to like regurgitate Ben Shapiro and Randy Fine talking points, what are we doing here?
Well, I haven't liked his last couple of takes, but I wasn't going to like attack him over it, friend. But
I'm not even here to attacking him. I'm just here to say that like you're saying 14-year-olds, like 60-year-old men raping 14-year-olds isn't pedophilia. Sorry, dude.
Exactly. It
is.
And it's always the goyim. He did have a point by saying like, hey, this is a blackmail operation, but I think he's missing the point that it goes far beyond that. He's missing a big piece of it. So he's right by pointing that aspect out, that, he's saying, hey, this is used to blackmail politicians and other people, but he goes far beyond that. Something far darker, evil, sinister.
And not just darker in the satanic side of things, but like just the level of influence this dude had. I don't know if you saw this just came out, Jake, where a 2017 email, Bill Gates discussed plans for pandemic simulations with Jeffrey E. And the whole thing is an email describing proposed projects such as simulated outbreak scenarios, expanded health data infrastructure, neurotechnology research potentially useful in national security during a pandemic. This dude was discussing basically COVID 2 years before it happened with Bill Gates. And this is like one of 100 things of just like weapon trafficking to Africa to being involved with Bill Gates on COVID. Like this
Ukraine,
dude, I feel like this
Ukraine war, Gaddafi. I wish I was shocked, but nothing will shock me at this point. There's nothing.
He was involved in talking about the 2014 coup in Ukraine. Like, to your point, I'm starting to feel like Epstein, and maybe it's an extension because he said that he works directly for the Rothschilds in one of the emails, which is not shocking.
Another conspiracy.
It almost feels like this dude was running the world, bro. Like, or at least him and his cabal that he was a part of.
I think he had a boss, though. I think he was very high up.
Right. That's what I meant. Like the cabal he's working under, maybe. But like, dude, he's a part of everything for the last 20 years. Every big thing you could think of, he just happened to be involved in it.
There's somewhere where there's a conversation, I forget who, and someone goes, the Jays run the world, and they all broke out hysterically laughing, or someone's, about like someone making that claim.
But then what did he say? And I'll pull so we can see this here. He said himself, this is the way the J makes money and made a fortune in the past 10 years. Let the goyim deal in the real world. Like this is the type of shit he's saying, dude.
Yeah. I think it's important to add it to Epstein. It wasn't just politicians. It was mostly like these big tech guys and stuff, which would give them inside information to the companies if they have blackmailed them, which means insider trading, also backdoors. I think that's a big part that a lot of people miss with Epstein files. It wasn't just for politicians. It was for all kinds of powerful, influential people.
Finance.
It seems like they always have these insider trading tips. Like what was the guy that one of the guys that was Charlie Kirk
talks about it. He talks about it in this email right here, Jake. He says, oh yeah, here it is. This is the way the J makes money and makes a fortune in the past 10 years. I'm selling short the shipping futures. Let the goyim deal in the real world. So to your point, he's talking about like finance stuff like that nobody probably knows about, but he's probably better trading with.
A good example of this is what of the guy that Charlie Kirk was with, billionaire, right before he was shot. Damn, I can't think of his name. Well, during COVID, he pushed
Bill Ackman.
pushed Trump to lock down the country. Then he did this bet, put $2 million, turned it into $2
in the
million.
hotel industry
in a month. 1,000x his money in a month. That's unheard of. I asked Grok, what's some other examples of this? And they gave two people. One was Larry Silverstein, who many of you know,
9/11,
and another guy.
Can't say that.
I didn't know who he was. And I go, what is his ethnic background? I don't need to say that. You will know.
It's just always. We're getting to the point where, but also with these emails from Epstein, it's like, dude, but they're like saying it out, like they're saying it in private. He's got another one with. Did you see the one with the former commissioner of the NBA? I forget his name. In an email to Epstein, Epstein was like, "Hey, wait for me in the lobby." And what was somebody in the chat will know who was the former NBA commissioner, guys? Stern. And he responds to Epstein and he goes, "That's for Goyim." In a conversation between the two of them. Like, I don't wait in the lobby. That's
all over the files, by the way. Just hatred and like just for all other races.
Everywhere. And you had a great chart right here, Jake, showing exactly that. Or people actually looking the term up since the Epstein files came out, because now everybody's like, wait, what does this mean?
Yeah, Goyim.
Oh,
it's basically the N-word but they're the only race that has it for everyone that's not them. Everyone is the N-word to them. Is the Goyim. It's like cattle, slaves. And these powerful people, like back, you know how I kind of jokingly said the least surprising thing was that Trump is compromised. That's by Chabad Lubavitch, which is the extremely powerful. Those are the ones that crawled out of the tunnel. And the guy that ran their headquarters, he believed that our souls aren't holy, that their souls are separate, they're divine, and we're just like a disgusting, non-human like soul. And these are the guys that Trump goes to, Putin goes to, Javier Milei goes to, one of the most powerful men in the world.
Yep. Now, I want to take a look at, have you seen Trump's response to this?
Probably calling Massey a loser.
No. We'll just have to watch it together, because if you haven't seen this, it's actually hilarious. I don't know why he's in a tuxedo. What? But he got asked this yesterday, and they asked him about the new Epstein file release, and here's what he had to say. It's a little hard to hear at first because they're on a plane, but once he starts talking, we'll be able to hear it.
What did you think of the latest release of Epstein files, and do you think your critics will be satisfied with?
Well, they should be, because it looked like this guy Wolf was a writer, was conspiring with Epstein to do harm to me. And I didn't see it myself, but I was told by some very important people that not only does it absolve me, it's the opposite of what people were hoping, the radical left.
So Trump's take is, which is crazy because he's even said, I haven't seen it, but people are telling me about himself.
I'm sure he hasn't
that the new release exonerates him. That's his take. He's exonerated now.
Yeah, I don't think you use Twitter, thankfully, but there's like all these large accounts that literally is all they do is simp for Trump. Whatever he does, their tweet is going to be trying to rationalize it. So like,
what are they doing with this?
Bomb him. If he doesn't want to bomb him, don't. He's just like literally whatever. They're waiting for his opinion on something. It's just, can you imagine being one of those people?
No, I can't, because that's not what we do. That's not what me and you do. So no, I can't imagine being Brandon Tatum or Betty Johnson. I literally, as a grown man with a nutsack with testicles in it, I cannot imagine simping for a politician who's a pedophile this hard.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we have a lot in common. We talked about last episode. Just I realized hanging out with elite military guys, not the low level ones, but elite ones like you and Brent. Like I feel like we used to have so much in common with elite fighters. It's like the way our personalities, our behavior, or not being able to simp, not being able to stay quiet.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, and we're going to talk about this next, is I would love to say, are there any big UFC fighters that you found in the files yet, Jake? Just as a question.
I don't think so. At least not in a bad way. Someone mentioned that someone might be there. Well, someone mentioned someone might be there, but I don't want to say his name in case it's not true. But I don't think it'd be in a bad way.
So unfortunately for the special operations community, let's talk about this real quick.
There's something bad in there.
It's about to get bad.
It's really bad.
Unfortunately for the special operations community, Dick Marchenko, the founder of SEAL Team 6, is in the Epstein files, and this is the initial document here. It says the lead is generated follow-up information that USC retired Richard Marchenko is in the custody of Mexico City regarding a child sex trafficking ring investigation by the Mexican authorities that is perpetuated to or reported to include video evidence held by Mexican law enforcement officials of Jeffrey Epstein engaging in sex acts with minors. The said minors were reported as possible USCs. So yes, the founder of SEAL Team 6 was put in a Mexican prison for being involved in Big E's sex trafficking. So
yeah,
that's and I mean,
they said he has videos, I think, too, right, of like Epstein, other officials, and children, including American citizens. It's just I haven't looked that deep into this one, but there's claims that maybe they had some FBI agents killed and tortured.
I mean, who knows? At this point, again, like the fact that when I said everybody's in it, Jake, that's why it's a joke where I'm like, what? We're waiting for like John Jones. We're waiting for John Jones to pop up in the Epstein files, right?
Out of all people, it would be, and I like Jones, but he's done so
you know what I mean? I'm just saying
stuff.
it's just like, it feels like the fact when we're talking about it's everybody, and then we're like, oh yeah, don't worry, the founder of SEAL Team 6 is also, was arrested for child sex.
That's gotta be disappointing for you, right? There's probably a guy like SEAL Team 6.
I'm not a Navy SEAL, so thank God. It wasn't a Green Beret.
Like Green Beret, like the SEALs must be like disheartened. The guy is like,
well, you know what the crazy thing about this is, though, and you probably, this is like way too deep to get into in a rabbit hole, but SEAL Team 6 and the Navy SEAL community, if you go back into like Roberts Ridge, John Chapman, like they actually have a massive amount of super sketchy shit that's like underneath the veil that's been happening as well. That's all tied into like Obama and a bunch of other stuff. So,
it's the Democrats.
Well, yeah. Actually, with the SEAL teams, it kind of is, but it's just one of those things where I heard about it and I was like, oh yeah, I'm actually not shocked that SEAL Team 6 was somehow involved in child sex trafficking. Like, it's horrible to think about, but it's like, yeah, it's right there, dude. That's an FBI. This is FBI documents. Let me pull this back up. And again, this is pulled directly from the Justice Department website. This is the second portion of this. But yeah, I mean, like this is straight stuff. Like this is straight stuff from the FBI. Like we're talking about here.
Yeah, and some of this stuff, not 100% of it is necessarily true. It's tips, witnesses, but there's too much. Well,
this is because they pulled him out of a Mexican prison, dude. He was arrested in Mexico for it.
Yeah, this is like a very like the elite of the elite. I imagine the guy who founded that must have been like really badass, but so disappointing. And he's working with these, probably with the cartels. And there's been lots of connections with Israel and the cartels. People saying they helped train them. There was one big case. It was a huge international story of like, I think it was 27 or 37 students were protesting. They got rounded up in a school bus, driven off, and they disappeared. And the investigator, it turned out he was one of the guys that like tortured and killed them. And what happened? He fled to our greatest ally. They took him in, and they're protecting him.
Many of them that do that, dude. We hear this over and over and over again, which also makes it sort of compelling for the idea of, Epstein to potentially be there somewhere, right? Because I almost feel like he'd be a hero there, dude.
Oh yeah, and they tend to take care of their own. They do look out for their own. They do get them out of jail. They give them honors. It seems likely. Well, we're talking about. Earlier, I forgot to mention, some of like the cameras that faulted, all that, the guards that fell asleep. They released a video saying it was the cell. There was 2 minutes and I believe 59 seconds cut out. That'd be enough time to get him out, put a body in. How long would that take? 2 minutes, about 2 minutes.
How crazy is that they literally put that out and they're like, yeah, don't know why 3 minutes is just suspiciously disappeared.
We found the footage, guys. 3 minutes missing. I'm sure it's fine. I think he's like sleeping in bed, chilling, and then it's just cuts, and then he's like sitting there hanging.
I lost the cell footage, but I mean, do you remember that footage that they put out in the last files drop that supposedly was like Epstein trying to hang himself, and then people ran it through AI and realized that it was an AI generated video that the FBI
I missed
put
that
out
one.
to the public.
So much stuff.
It's fake. They put out a fake AI video, and all the people who can fact check what videos are AI because there's a technology for it. We're like, that's an AI video.
Goyam, take this video and shut up.
Yeah. Yes.
He hung himself.
It's just it's so crazy to me, man. I want to talk a little bit. Go ahead. Sorry.
Just Mexico. I want to hit one more quick thing on Mexico with connections there. This is a wild story that hardly anyone's ever heard of for some reason. Like after September 11th, 2 Mossad agents. They had machine guns, grenades, just fully ready, like tons of ammunition. They busted into Mexican Parliament to do like a mass attack, probably kill like I don't know if it's Senate or Parliament, whatever their members are. But then they were tackled and arrested right before they got to kill people. And they had Pakistani passports. So it was a false flag operation. It was front page of the newspaper that day. After that, it was never covered again. A month later, they were transferred back to Israel.
Isn't it interesting? And so many of these stories, and I covered these on the channel, but like even just going back a couple months for us, like everybody remember about the Washington, D.C. shooter that happened, and then just 2 days later, nobody brought that up or talked about it again? Or what about Bondi Beach in Australia? Remember?
Yeah.
Turned out that like, oh, maybe these guys were actually trained by the IDF, and then we never talked about it ever again. We just
disappeared.
Nope. Yeah, that disappeared.
But Australia used that to pass these laws, anti-discrimination laws, where if you criticize Jews, you'll get thrown in jail now. People are getting arrested for like saying, hey, this is a Jewish law, jail.
Yep. 100%. Let's hit 1 or 2 super chats real quick before we fall too far behind. See what the chat has to say. Take some of my VA scam money. Oh, this is dunking on Matt Walsh for shitting on disabled veterans. Love the channel. Stay solid. You and Jake are fire together. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Bannon's in the files. Yep.
Yes, that's actually real quick. We said Bannon. I believe there's an email text exchange with. They believe it was Bannon. It wasn't 100% verified, saying he could help him go somewhere where he can't be extradited. I think. Have you
seen the new interview that just dropped between Bannon and Epstein?
No,
a couple hours ago.
There's just too much stuff.
I have it if we want to watch some of it later, but like, dude, it's him. Again, it's just him like talking about like, oh, how'd you go from, a math teacher to whatever? And his excuses are, it's just wild. But we can look at that later.
4chan just, like, gave him houses and
I'm sure not through any blackmail involved in that. 4chan was a psyop and breeding ground for sordid excrement.
I mean, 4chan might not be the best site, but the best site. People saying, "Oh, that's from 4chan." Yeah, that is from 4chan, but a subpoena shows it's from a guard that worked there. That's why I kind of said, "Oh, it's just 4chan." Before,
no, he was confirmed that he was a guard there, right, through the subpoena in the court system.
That's what subpoena shows.
Yep. AJ says they need to take ground penetrating radar to that golf course. Yeah, supposedly there's a bunch of dead bodies on that golf course. You see that?
Yeah, I saw that too. It's just there's just so many things. It's like you can't keep track of it all.
And maybe that's kind of like, I almost feel like if they were smart, they would have dumped them all at once. Like just flooded the zone, made it so overwhelming, and then invade Iran 3 days later. You know what I mean? Like dump all of them strategically, right? If you want to, because they're obviously trying to distract us.
Yeah. But I think that still might be a likely scenario, invading Iran.
Oh, it's 100% coming. It's right. It's right here. So there's new this just came out a couple days ago. We'll read this real quick. Israeli assessments are currently indicating that the United States, on the orders of President Trump, will launch a broad attack soon on Iran with the goal of toppling the Iranian government, according to the Israel Public Broadcasting Corporation. So Israel is saying this on their news right now. Significant cooperation to prepare for such an attack is taking place between Israel Defense Force and U.S. Armed Forces. So that's as of 2 days ago.
And how much do you think this will benefit America?
Well, I mean, like, here's the thing, and I'm being sarcastic because it won't, obviously, guys. But if you're a MAGA influencer or Ben Shapiro, then you can try to justify this as being great for America because it's good for Israel.
That's literally what they say, right? It's good for America because it's good for Israel.
Yeah. They don't explain how, but
shut up, and go fight our wars.
Yep. All right. Where's the cow she bets on whether Bill takes the DOJ to court within a couple of years and Melinda takes Bill to court because of antibiotics, dude? And this is how crazy it's everywhere. Did you see that Bill Clinton and Hillary just agreed to be subpoenaed? This is like 30 minutes before we started. They're going to go before Congress. Subpoenaed in front of Congress for the Epstein files.
Oh, wow. Because Bill, didn't he fly with them like 30 or 40 times?
Oh yeah,
there's no one I've flown with that many times, including like guys I've fought with. I've maybe flown with guys like 20, like the Diaz brothers. Maybe flown with 20 times, but we were traveling around the world fighting and stuff.
Isn't that crazy?
And especially rich guys
you work
their schedules around
that much.
Yeah,
I don't think there's there. Let's see, 40 times. I don't even think, and we fly nonstop in Special Forces. I don't think I even flew with any. Like maybe the teammate I worked with for like 6 years, maybe. maybe, but this guy's 40
There's
times
like 3
to the
fighters
island.
who are part of
I
my
think it
team.
was
And
20. We should be accurate. I think it's 27 or 28. Somebody in the chat. Correct.
So people listening, how many people besides like your wife or something, girlfriend, have you flown with 27 times?
I don't think I've even
these
flown
are like
with my
extremely
wife
rich
30
people's
times.
busy schedules.
30 times? But also to the island 30 times.
Oh, wow. It was the island. And they had that nice temple there that was soundproof. He spent $100,000 of soundproofing an island. He said it was for his piano, but it was like soundproofing they put in there. I don't think he ever brought a piano in.
I think it was 27 times, Jake. We should be fair.
Okay. Only 27 times.
He flew 27 times the island.
It was business. Bill and him were doing business.
Yeah. I am Yisrael Chai. Songris says, hey, Nate and Jake, wondering your guys' take on Dick Marchenko's connection, if captured and released from Mexicans, might have been possibly related to the General Cienfuegos release. Corruption General was released in the custody in 2020. I don't know about that, but obviously
unfortunately, I'll look that up. What's that name? I want to look that up later. I'm curious now.
Dick Marchenko. So rich, but Dick Marchenko. He's what we just talked about, the founder of SEAL Team 6.
Yeah, but related to that, I don't know the case you're talking about related to.
Yeah, I don't know this case either. But anyway, that's the most I know about it so far. E is hiding out. Trump's pardons are on his way. What a collab. Love it. Thank you, man. All right, one more and then we'll jump back into it. My dog died 4 months ago. My half-brother died today. My country's falling apart. The only thing keeping me together are the truth tellers who can't be bought. Thank you for what you guys do. Well, thank you.
Thank you, and sorry for the rough month. Losing dog, brother. Yes, life hits you 3 things at once. I've noticed. Like you always have multiple down, but you just have to keep moving forward. That's all you got to do when things go bad.
Yeah, it always seems like that, man. You know what I mean? It comes in 2s and 3s.
Yeah, like my life's been good overall, but there's a few times things will hit, and it'll be a couple things at once, and it'll be like, damn, this sucks. Then I just keep moving and snap out of it.
Next, I want to talk about is MAGA influencers, because do you remember this, Jake? You remember these guys?
They got the Epstein files.
Look at these, and I want to be honest, guys. Look at these fucking idiots, dude. What's this guy's name? I forget his name. He's big on Twitter.
He just one of those Trump simps we were talking about. He's so
Trump
pathetic.
simp, whatever. And then you've got what's her name? Liz Wheeler, who's over here, so happy, binder in tow, and it's so funny.
By God or no?
No. She's a hardcore Christian Zionist, like hardcore. But the funny thing about that crew, and I actually in my video today where I showed all the MAGA influencers who are silent, I was like, okay, you got Liz Wheeler here proudly holding up that binder. So I went over to her YouTube channel. So we'll see if she had anything to say about the new release of the Epstein files. Jake, if you had to guess, do you think she's covered the story?
No, and if she has, it's been to be like, look, it's the Democrats.
No, just
Bill Gates got chlamydia.
Not even that. All she's covering is Don Lemon. That's all Megyn Kelly. That's all Matt Walsh. Everybody. All they're covering is the
nobody
Don
cares
Lemon
about that
story.
Right now. Like, didn't you drop a video on that right after this came out? And you're like, well, that's not what people want to hear right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's an idiot. He was, doing something stupid. But at the same time, like we had enough resources to go and arrest him, but not a single goddamn person in the Epstein files has been arrested yet.
And there probably won't be one. Maybe there will be. Hope. Maybe the people have had enough. At like what point is there a breaking point where the people say enough is enough?
But how do you? Here's my thing, because this is the thing. How are you going to get the government to hold the government accountable? Because the Justice Department being run by Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, who have been the biggest, like literally both of them have come out and said the files don't exist and Jeffrey Epstein never trafficked anyone to anyone. Those are the people responsible for bringing justice to the Epstein clients.
Yeah, they both should be arrested, but they're the ones that do the rest.
Exactly.
Like Pam Bondi should be arrested for, contempt of whatever. Congress, they voted her for at least the unredacted Epstein files. She still hasn't. They've released some, but there's still tons being held. And then Kash Patel lied under oath. We'd be in jail if we did that.
Viciously lied under oath. He literally said, this is so crazy to me, Jake. Kash Patel said, and I think I probably have the clip. He said, Jeffrey Epstein never trafficked anyone to anyone. That's the FBI director. And who's seen the files.
Yeah. He's watched these videos. They know how bad it is. They know how terrible it is. So You wonder how they're compromised. Are they just evil in on it? Are they threatened and scared? I don't know the answer to that. People like Tulsi Gabbard, who's a friend of mine, it's like, are they compromised? Do they threaten them? Like you see the email with Jeffrey Epstein's brother is pretty disturbing.
Yeah.
Maybe they're basically like, yeah, we're gonna kill your whole family if you don't go along.
A good example of that is Dan Bongino. Like, that motherfucker has seen the files, and now he's working overdrive to try to defend all of the pedophiles in the files. Like, that's his thing now.
Yeah.
And it's like,
being
dude, you've seen him, bro.
Fan, it's got to be embarrassing. Does he have any fans left? Like,
I don't think so.
Every day he tweets out something like, it's January 31st and Donald J. Trump is your president. It's like, okay, bro.
Yeah.
We just want the Epstein files.
Yeah. Okay, man. Yeah. Fuck off, guy. Like, you're the one who helped redact the Epstein files. I don't know what we could probably do. A good way to do it with Bongino is typically the way you could find out.
I feel like I almost want to watch his show. I'm curious now, and the comments to see if people are letting him get away with it, or if they're just roasting him.
Let me show you this. This is the easiest way for us to see it, Jake. This is Dan's Instagram page. Okay, this is not mine. I just grabbed his page, this random video that says the Dan Bongino show is,
to see if he's getting called out
back.
Or not.
It's back, boys. All right, I don't care what he has to say, but what's the top comment say? Dan lost all credibility.
This is
the number one
page.
comment.
Oh, we have a yes. Like, look at that moron.
But look at the likes. You've got 455.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, and wait. So here's a couple good ones, right? 14 likes. God bless. The wait is over 12 likes. And then the next negative one, 0 chance I tune in. 500 likes. I mean, so that's his own page of people just like, nah, dude.
I can't imagine how humiliated he must be. I would go crawl in a hole.
I don't think he is, dude. I don't think he is, because he came out swinging like calling us.
Yeah, he's calling out us.
You fucking black-pilled losers, and you're just like,
Thomas
who are you
Massey,
talking to, dude?
People like us. And it's scary when these guys are the law. Like, we're calling out the people that can arrest and have us killed. It is a little concerning, but there's more of us than them. I hope the people stand up and do something. If they start making arrests, it is hard to do something, though. You say anything, they'll send the FBI to you, arrest you. You see what they did to January 6 people, 30 years in jail for an insurrection. One guy wasn't even in, I can't remember the name. I interviewed the guy. He wasn't even in town. They gave him like 35 years.
That's crazy. Well, and a lot of people are like, dude, Nate, you can't keep making fun of Kash Patel like this. Eventually, they're going to kick your door in and arrest you for something. And it's like, well, if they fucking do, they do, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm not going to shut my mouth. But you're in the same reality for you too. It's like, I don't think we're shutting up. You know what I mean?
I've heard they're calling people about me, people that I know. So it's definitely the reality for me. I found out. I assumed it, but actually hearing it still a little bit like, fuck, a little chilling.
I think the good news for all of us, to what you just said, though, you're like, there's more of us than there are of them. This didn't really used to be the case, but I think this story is breaking the dam so big that I think like there's just too many of us talking about it now.
If the FBI comes and arrests me or you, everyone's going to know exactly
everyone. And it'll be massive on the internet. So, but at some point, can they let it run forever?
I think that's what they're trying to figure out right now. I think that's what they're going through. They seem very arrogant. Like, there's no way we could win. We're just stupid goyim. But it does get concerning when there's like Palantir. There's there was an argument before is the military going to really do a civil war and start killing American citizens? Probably not, guys like you. But now they have drones. They can bring in foreigners.
Well, here's the thing. We say probably not guys like me, but then we see Dick Marchenko getting fucking arrested for child sex trafficking, dude. And you're like, okay, well, if SEAL Team 6 is being involved in child sex trafficking, what are the odds that I think, like, well, for me, I don't have to worry about me personally. If you asked me to go out and start killing Americans, I'd say fuck off. But is there not
some would,
enough people to be like, hey, I'm down?
They want to be the guys in power, I guess. If they're working for the machine that's taking everything over, if you're one of their top military guys, you get treated well.
And yep, and you rise the ranks. So I don't know, man. It's so crazy. But I want to show a couple more takes. I want to talk about the women of MAGA. The women of MAGA here, dude. Right, the powerful women who protect a predator. Right. I think, and I talked about in my video today, they might be the worst out of everybody. And the reason why I say that is these are women that know about the abuse, about the trafficking, about the rape, about potentially now the murders of all these young underage women. And not only are they more than just silent, they are using their platforms and their power to protect these men that viciously abused these young women. That to me is insane.
No, it's disgusting. And I get it. They're probably being paid well, but at what price is your soul worth?
Yeah.
What price? And Epstein used girls a lot of times to find the girls, like Ghislaine Maxwell, but there was other women. I can't remember their names, but there's other women that helped them recruit because it's easier for girls to go and approach these young girls.
Yeah, that's why they use madams to do it and not men.
Mm-hmm. And they were targeting young women, broken homes. They were intentionally trying to go broken homes. I think he ended up getting caught because he had a girl he's messing with that had a father, noticed something was off with his daughter, and went to the police. And then even the first time, what was her, 30, 40? I don't know how many girls he was accused of molesting and raping
40,
and abusing.
40, I think 40 plus are in the victim list.
Yeah, he basically got no time, he didn't have to I think he had to go to jail 8 hours a day. It wasn't like
2000. Oh, you mean the 2005?
Yeah, he could go in and out of jail.
He only had to spend the days in jail, I believe, or the nights.
Yeah,
the nights.
Days or nights. It was one of the two, but I think he slept there. But he was out all day, hanging out.
Who gets that deal, Jake?
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein.
For any crime, who's allowed to go back to their home, work throughout the day, and all I got to do is go sleep in the bed in the jail cell?
And I bet he didn't have that bed with no pillow and the lights on, and I bet he wasn't sharing a cell. Then they put him in some nice cushy jail.
Well, we know with Maxwell, she's in the upscale white collar jail now, and she's got a dog. She's got a puppy in her cell, dude. You haven't heard that?
Pardons her before her term.
I think so too. Yeah. His term. I think so too. Yeah. And then here's another one, right? Just to remind people. Remember when Megyn Kelly said this?
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything, not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls.
Okay.
Is this recent or what the hell?
That was during the first file drop. So that wasn't she has and no, it wasn't recent, Jake.
But she's still trying to normalize that and make it sound like it's okay.
No, she's not, because you know why she's not trying to normalize it? Because she's not fucking talking about it, and she's done zero content on it. She hasn't said a word about the new Epstein file drop.
There's no one better fence center than Megyn Kelly. She'll never give opinion. It's always like, oh, I'm right in the middle. But even for doing that, she started getting attacked by Ben Shapiro and Mark Levine. They started going after her just for being like, oh, I'm not taking sides, just for talking Tucker Carlson and stuff.
Look at her YouTube page. The biggest story in the world right now, Epstein. What has she done content on?
Trump, it looks like.
Trump, whatever this is. And look at this. Don Lemon. Not a single goddamn word about this story.
She's hoping Ben Shapiro and Mark Levine will take her back in.
But I mean, think about that. And Megyn Kelly really irks me more than any of them because, Megyn Kelly, if you guys don't know her backstory, she's the Me Too queen. She left Fox News because she was being sexually harassed by Bill O'Reilly, right? And then the Me Too movement, she was all on board. When Harvey Weinstein, that came out, how terrible this was. She was the leading advocate for women. And then it turns out Trump's in the files accused of raping 13-year-olds. And all of a sudden, Megyn Kelly, what's her response? Well, 14's barely legal.
Yeah, if it's MAGA, he's our God King, so it's all right.
The grossest thing,
no one's perfect. Our president makes mistakes. Yeah, she has children.
She has a 14-year-old daughter, dude, and she's saying shit like that. And it's like, for me,
disgusting.
I know you got daughters.
Yeah,
I have a 12-year-old daughter, and so I'm like, no, motherfuckers. 12 to 14 years old is not barely legal. It's a goddamn child, dude.
No, I think
these are children.
This stuff pisses us off when people are trying to excuse this. That's why it's one of those things. That's a red line for me if you're trying to excuse this. And it gets even worse than that. It goes beyond that. But even trying to excuse that is completely unacceptable.
It's disgusting, dude. I just don't. but I just think it's like the craziest thing to me. This last week, Jake, we went from MAGA, supposed to be not recently, supposed to be like the America First, pro Second Amendment, accountability for the deep state, hold the pedophiles accountable party, to in 1 week, the anti-Second Amendment, you're not allowed to own guns, we support pedophile party. In 1 week.
Yeah. This is why you don't want to be a Republican or Democrat. If you're so stuck on a party line that you're going to follow whatever they say with no morals, it's just pathetic. That's why I don't identify as either. I thought I was more of a Republican for a minute because it seemed like, oh, Trump was fighting the system. He was saying he was pro free speech, anti-war for no reason.
Yeah, well, that's gone out the window.
But he fooled me. There's those memes, you see, fooled me again meme, but at least he ain't fooling me now, you know.
Did you vote for Trump ever?
I did the first term. I didn't this last one.
Okay. I have the beautiful track record, thank God, that I did not vote for Donald Trump in any of the 3 elections. I didn't vote in the president for a president because I wasn't going to vote for the Democrat either. Yeah. But at least I at least don't have to do that. Although, I mean, like the thing is like well, at this point with the Epstein files, like I'm so far beyond, there's nothing Trump could do to get back on my good graces of like, hey, I'm glad America's doing well, so let's forget about the fact that he's a pedophile. Like, no, like I'm beyond that. But like before that, like I want to support any U.S. president, man. I really do. Like I want the president to do well because it means our country's going to do well. But now what we have,
Republican.
Now, Jake, what we have is none of the things that Trump campaigned on, a good economy, no wars, accountability for the deep state, and a bunch of pedophiles.
It's been such a disaster. Well, occasionally he'll say something good, and I'll praise him, and then he doesn't do it. Like he's talking about how I'm going to do a ban
chickens
on like
out, right? The same Trump chickens
I'm going to stop the housing, the buying, like these corporations that buy up all the houses so the young people can't afford houses. He says, like, oh, good job. And then he goes, you know what? I want people to stay, rich with their house equity. And I get it. It's nice to have it. I own a couple homes. It's nice, but I would rather young Americans be able to buy a home and start 100%. Families than to be greedy.
And also, like, here's my thing with that, because you're right. That's the funniest thing. The Doge checks, the tariff refund checks, no tax on tips. What else?
Did he take that back too?
Private equity from buying homes. Like, these things all sounded great. Of course, none of them are going into policy, but like for the housing, I mean, like for us, we're a little bit older. We've done well in life. And to your point, like, dude, I don't care if the home that I own goes up $100,000 in value because I already live here and I'm probably not moving. So like, it doesn't make that big of a deal for the people who already own homes. I would rather, to your point, young American men in their 20s can afford a home so they can fucking have families and have kids children. Actually continue the American culture, because that's also being stripped away as well.
I wouldn't care. Yeah, if my house got cheaper, I wouldn't really care. I mean, maybe a small part of me be like, oh, that sucks because you look at the back of your head, it's like assets, but like whatever. People can have homes, like especially if you're planning on selling them, I guess it sucks, but you got to look at the whole society a little bit. I'm mixed. I'm an individualist. I believe, hard work, all that, but you also have to care about your fellow countrymen a little bit. So maybe there's
I'm not saying to give away free homes to people, but at the same time, what Trump is saying is like, hey, he's literally talking about, hey, we're going to make sure we're going to limit the amount of homes that can be built to protect the wealth of old people that own homes.
Yeah.
It's like, people have really? Is that what we need to do? Do we need to protect the wealth of boomers who already have all the wealth? Like they're going to be okay.
Sorry, you were born too late, or you don't have rich parents. You'll never own a home. You'll own nothing and be happy.
And Jake, I'm sure you understand this coming from like the fighting world. There's probably a ton of young men, maybe yourself included. This was it for me. Like without some type of purpose, and you probably found purpose through martial arts like I did through the military. Without some types of purpose, young men, and trust me, I know because I've gone and fought wars in areas where they have no ability for purpose or anything. A society of young men that don't have any purpose or any access to be able to have a family, to have kids, have a good job, that society will collapse and turn into chaos. Whether you can look at Chicago, you can look at Iraq, you can look at Afghanistan. It's the same way across the entire world. And that's my worry with what's going on, is like we're raping the young demographic, especially the young men. Like they have the labor market's horrible. Like they can't afford homes. And at some point there's going to be a break point where you do that to an entire generation of young men, which we're doing. There's going to be consequences to that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, when I was young, I did dumb shit. I was getting in trouble, getting thrown in jail a few times, being a complete dumbass. I found fighting. I got a purpose, straightened my life up, stopped getting in trouble. Like you need a purpose, but especially young men, but even older, I retired from fighting. I was like, bored out of my mind. So I started I do other business too, which I usually don't share because a certain group of people try to get everything I do canceled. But we we have to have a purpose and stuff we're doing.
Who they
we'll get, I can't figure out who they are. They wear these little hats. But no, like we'll get ourselves in trouble. Like even older, I can be a dumbass to get myself in trouble if I'm not careful.
Yeah. All right, now I want to actually move into, we'll say the last part of the show here to talk about the people who are trying to get you in trouble, because they're very, very involved in the Epstein files. It turns out. All right, let me pull this back off. I want to pull this up.
Just like they were in Me Too. I think it was almost all of them in Me Too.
Isn't that funny? I want to pull up this Asmongold clip. Because this is it's actually him talking about the email we talked about earlier, but he's got a great take on it, I think. So let's listen to this. Oh,
Epstein. This is not me saying from Jeffrey Epstein. This is not me saying it. It's not Nick Fuentes saying it. It's not Sneeko. It's not Hassan. It's Jeffrey Epstein saying it. This is the way the Jew make money and made a fortune in the past 10 years, selling short the shipping futures. What the goyim deal in the real world? Oh my fucking God. Bro, every stereotype confirmed overnight. Holy fuck. This is from Jeffrey Epstein.
I mean,
it's not surprising to me and you, I'm for sure. I think a lot of people are kind of a wake-up call. And obviously, it's not all of them. There's some that are speaking up, but the ones, the elites, they hate us. They are manipulating the markets. They are manipulating things. There ain't, it's all Goyim kids that are getting raped and abused. I don't think there's any J kids in there.
So there was, we've had the conspiracy for the last 100 years that the world is run by a satanic PDF Jewish cabal. And everybody says that's silly, that's ridiculous. And then you see the Epstein files, and then you see what Jeffrey Epstein, literally what he's talking about. And I mean, it's everywhere. Here's another one, and this is from one of the emails where Epstein was talking to Ehud Barak, the former prime minister of Israel, and he said, "You should make clear that I don't work for Mossad." Smiley face. And Barak says to him, "You or me?" And he says, "That I don't." Smiley face. And it's just
it's like funny because it's so obvious that they do. And he was,
they're joking about it, right?
Yeah, because it's like so obvious that's what they do. And he visited Epstein like 30 times, I don't know, around 30. He visited him a lot of times. There's a disturbing email in there talking about how he enjoyed slicing open the pizza and how much fun it was. And we know what pizza is a code word for.
And we definitely know what pizza is a fucking code for now. It's just, and then there's this too. I'm sure you saw this one. This one came out early in the files. It's be a little bit hard to read, but this is the FBI Bureau of Investigation CHS reporting document. It talks about Dershowitz being obviously connected deeply to the Kushners, but then also says in this document that the CHS reporting advised that this was a real collusion story. Trump has been compromised by Israel, and Kushner is the real brains behind the organization and Trump's presidency. People think like, hey, and that's from the FBI, guys. That's not me and Jake making that up. The FBI is putting that out.
I've also been saying this, but yes, it's Kushner through that Chabad Lubavitch. That's that organization. That's like, I need to do some more research in them because they're very mysterious. They dig tunnels and crawl out of them in New York.
But also what we're seeing with Kushner, especially with Gaza and the Gaza Reconstruction Project. And it's so funny because I was in a debate with Matt Tardio a long time ago, and I literally brought this up. I was like, dude, they demolished Gaza because Jared Kushner and his buddies with Tony Blair want to come in and they want to reconstruct Gaza and turn it into a giant, basically beachfront property vacation destination. And he was like, you're a fucking liar. There's no way that's going to happen. And it's like, dude, that's what they're doing. And now we know because Kushner's actually talking about it out loud.
He presented the plans.
He's presented the plans, and then you see text like that, and you're like, oh, okay. And also, Kushner has no government position, by the way, Jake. He's not an ambassador. He's not a Treasury Secretary. He's nothing. He's just Trump's father-in-law. And somehow he has more power than anyone in the government. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, it would make sense if he's blackmailed and he's the one that tells him what to do. They also have Howard Lutnick there. Also, a really good friend of Jeffrey Epstein. He bought his house.
You see his emails too recently?
Yep. He also missed work on 9/11. Shocking.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
I know Lutnick's an interesting one because he was Jeffrey Epstein's next door neighbor, and he's Trump's current Treasury Secretary and also one of Trump's best friends. And you're like, Lutnick said that he hadn't spoken to Jeffrey Epstein since 2005. And the emails showed. Isn't that interesting that Trump said that? Dershowitz said that. Lutnick said that. Everybody said they haven't talked to Epstein since 2005. But then Elon Musk, all of these people who claimed they hadn't spoken to him since 2004, 2005. Turns out, no, they were still in contact with him and still going to his island, still going to parties up until 2013.
Yeah, it's all of them. And Dershowitz, I've been saying that for a while, that I thought he was part of the operation. I think he's a high-level Mossad guy who's helping run the operation.
Well, he said that in this email that we just pulled up in the first one.
I've been saying that for years. People think I'm a kook. It seemed pretty obviously that he was high up in the chain. And guys like Lex Wexner, who's who alive that never gets mentioned. He's the guy that funded Epstein.
He said himself, Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz, who was a teacher of the Kushners, that he said Dershowitz was co-opted by Mossad and subscribed to their mission. And then what did he say here? Dershowitz told CHS that if he were young again, he would be holding a stun gun as an Israeli intelligence Mossad agent. That's what Dershowitz said.
Yeah, so he makes it
That's
very
what
obvious.
He said out loud.
Yeah, and he's trying to start organizations to sue people like me and you for making these claims. The ADL is talking about too how we're getting thousands of lawyers. We're going to monitor, your emails, your bank accounts. Like, why couldn't the ADL monitor? They say they work with the FBI. Kash Patel said that he stopped working with ADL. The ADL just contradicted him and said we work with the FBI to monitor people like me and you, our bank accounts, our social media posts, our searches. So they have everything on us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you do assume your phone is hacked as well. I've had a couple phones that start doing weird stuff, overheating and like dying soon. I looked up what happens if Pegasus gets in your phone. That's what it says.
Well, Pegasus is a scary one. Do you want to explain a little bit what Pegasus is to the chat?
Yeah,
it's actually really scary.
Good job of explaining it, but it's an Israeli spyware, I know, and they're able to like send like links, and all you have to do is click on it, and it can be like anything, and they completely take over your phone. Where they can listen, they can spy, read all your text messages, read all your messages, and I think they can even get into things like Signal. I think it's everything. They can open up your camera to spy on you, and it's been found on multiple American politicians.
Government devices.
I think they've sold it, and with the cartels, I think I've used it to monitor it. They've used it to spy in police departments. That's another thing. Like, Israeli gangsters have often had access to all where they can spy on all the police stations, everything they're not supposed to have. Our greatest ally, once again. Yeah, it's not just Pegasus. There's multiple things they have to spy on us, but they've been caught spying on us so many times that it's just ridiculous. They do it just so blatantly and brazenly. Like, they'll get caught like putting trackers on Trump's car, or putting stuff in the bathrooms in England. It's putting up fake cell phone towers to spy on us. You guys can look this up, Trump spying or Israeli spying. Edward Snowden said they were the biggest spy threat to America, not China, not Russia, our greatest ally.
Have you seen some of the Pentagon officials back from before the global war on terror started talking about what was going on in the Pentagon?
How basically they just runs it.
Mossad just ran the Pentagon, and they would just have random Israeli operatives just like walking into just general offices being like, hey, you need to do this. And people would be like, and they're like, generals are like, who the fuck are you? And they're like, just do what we tell you to. And you're like, That's the Pentagon, dude.
No, that's insane.
But that was happening.
It's all this shit that sounded too crazy to be true. It's all being confirmed. And like how they wrote up the 7 countries they wanted war with. Iran's the last one.
Yeah, the clean break strategy. Yep.
I mean, you fought some of those wars, so that's...
Yeah, clean break strategy, for those of you who don't know, 1997, a bunch of Israelis put together a strategy for the Middle East that included overthrowing 7 different governments in 7 years. And then they had Benjamin Netanyahu show up to U.S. Congress in 2002 to pitch that, and it was to overthrow the countries of Iraq, Sudan, Somalia, Lebanon, Libya, Syria, and then the number 7. What's number 7, Jake?
It is Iran.
Iran, yeah, the one we're probably going to bomb in the next 5 days. Probably we're going to be headed to war real quick with Iran. Would be my guess. It's a distraction. I think the big distraction needs to come.
Yeah, I don't think people are gonna be happy, but it's like they don't care. Like I can't imagine. I don't know. I can't imagine Trump having that many supporters left, or maybe he does. Maybe they're in such a cult. They're just like blind. They're watching Megyn Kelly. They're watching Cat Turd on Twitter. I don't know if you know that account. It's like one of those guys that whatever Trump says.
I did because he made the list of like MAGA shills or whatever, the top 10. I didn't
really
know
these guys are kind of.
I was like, what the hell's the cat? Because it had
I make a video on these guys, just like how over the top they are. It's like impressive, just like how like I could literally imitate their tweets. You know, I sent a tweet out a couple days ago, basically acting like one of them. Got a few million views of just basically being how over the top they are. Like, I trust our president. Do you think you're smarter than him? Exactly what I said. Just like over the top how they act. You know, just because he's in these files and may or may not have done some inappropriate things with some young girls, he's still my president.
He's my president. I voted for this. You see that one all the time. I voted for this, and I'm like,
it's like Jesus Christ died in our sins. Our president is not perfect.
Well, see, I saw ones that like Donald Trump, like after he invaded Venezuela and kidnapped Maduro, and he was like threatening to take Greenland, and those same people were like, I voted for this, and I was like, you voted for America threatening to invade a European ally? That's what you voted for? Because that wasn't in the campaign, dude.
Yeah. I've seen people where they take their old posts when Trump was anti-war and they'd be like, I voted for this president not fighting these wars. And they take their new tweets, the exact same people. And there's a bunch of them. There's like tons of these guys. They'll be like, I voted for this. You guys, they don't think their own thoughts, or they're doing it for money. It's just like, that's part of the reason why I started tweeting in a podcast. I realized like, oh, there's a large amount of people that don't think for themselves.
So in the social media space, and kind of an interesting topic on that, a lot of these big channels that have built their channels like explicitly on simping for Trump, or even on the left simping for the left, they cannot do their own content without burning their own channels in with their own base, I guess you could say. Whereas I think people like me and you that built our channels off saying whatever the fuck we want, whenever we want, and being apolitical about it, I think we're in a much better place, because like we can just call balls and strikes on either party.
Yeah. And I'm also willing to lose tons of followers or subscribers or whatever if I believe in something strongly. Like, during October 7th, I lost like 10,000 followers that day. And I wasn't even like, yay, Hamas the good guys. I was just like, hey, this is a little more complicated.
Yeah.
Now maybe
you took a beating for that, but you were right. You know what I mean? In the long run, you were right, because you were way ahead of everybody on that one for the most part.
The amount of people I've had that have apologized and that were attacking me that said you were right it's insane. Including some big names. So it's slowly people are slowly waking up. It's like it's hit a point, I think, where it's hard to stop it because too many people are awake now where you can't really put it back in. And that's what they're trying to figure out what to do. I think they're trying to figure out what.
I was just going to ask you that is what do you think? How do you think they try to put the genie back in the bottle? I don't think they can. And I think they get real desperate real soon. And that actually scares me a lot.
No, it is a little scary. It's been a little concerning. This last week's been a little concerning that this stuff's out, knowing these psychopaths, what are the guys trying to push the truth out there? We're definitely on the enemy list. Whether they can try to like kill us, arrest us, cut down our channels.
Yeah.
But we are certainly on our list, but there's a lot of us. Not just there's a bunch of us now, though. Thank God, it's not just a few people. When I first started tweeting, there was not very many people saying things I were. And that
on
was
your
very
side.
Scary. Yeah, that was very scary. Like some of the leftists were, but like in a very different way than I was saying it. It was more like they were pro-Palestine, and a lot of people on the right looked at it. Well, these guys are idiots and wrong about anything, therefore they're wrong about this. But it's like no. They may be idiots on a lot of issues, but they're actually right with the Palestinians.
Yeah. No, I think that was October 7th and everything that came from the Gaza genocide. And I call it genocide because I don't give a fuck, because it is. Yeah. I think that is one of the things that had the biggest shift. It was for me. That's what pivoted me from, and I was never like a huge supporter of Israel, but it was always just kind of like, hey, we're supposed to support Israel because we're American and I'm a military guy. It was watching the response to October 7th for me that was like, whoa. I think we talked about it when I was out on your show of like, oh yeah, no, this isn't This isn't counterterrorism. This isn't combat operations. This is something very, very different. And by different, I mean, this is ethnic cleansing. So that's I think had a huge impact on a lot of people.
And you have done these operations. You know how this stuff works. You know, you don't just go bomb a school because maybe there's some guy you want in there and kill a couple hundred kids, whatever. Or tell
it would have been a lot easier
here than bomb them. Yeah.
It would have been a lot easier to the stuff we did if we could have. Not to say that we would have, but like, no, we had to deal with civilians, civcas. Like, we didn't get to just level a building because there was a bunch of kids in a basement with Hamas fighters.
A couple questions.
Taliban fighters.
How many times did, after you killed people of the house, did you like put on the women's clothing and walk around with your friends and take pictures?
None.
No, None. Really? How many times
did you more important things
did you gang rape a prisoner? You didn't gang rape any Afghan or Iraqi prisoners with the guys, like fellows bonding?
No. And in fact, and I tell people this, I'm like, look at what was done in Gaza with so much of that stuff. And then you look at like my friend Eddie Gallagher, who the American government tried to put him in prison for life because I believe an Iraqi detainee, an enemy combatant, died in what's the word I'm looking for? Custody of his unit, not even him. Yeah. And they tried to put him in prison for fucking life.
Wow.
And so
that's like too extreme. It's like too far.
And that was a male enemy combatant.
Yeah. So
now we're talking about kids.
Yeah, that our military takes these extreme standards, I would say too extreme in that case, versus the opposite of just and then why does our country simp for this when we put our own people in jail? And it was shameful during the what's the embarrassing thing when we were like torturing and humiliating the people after the war
down in Guantanamo?
Yeah, that was embarrassing. And people rightfully went to jail for that. But the Israelis would riot to get those people out. It's a sick culture when you have riots.
Didn't they have pro riots because they weren't being allowed to rape people?
Yeah, I call them the great right to rape riots of 2024.
Right to rape, right.
Yeah, they literally had pro-rape riots. They're the only country in world history that you can find that ever had riots. They could keep gang raping prisoners. And it's like, I think they do it to men and women. But the particular case was like a man. It was a bunch of them. Oh, just guys bond, just guys being guys. It's like, no, just never did that.
Dude stuff.
Come on, just dudes doing dude stuff. Like, no, it's not something I ever did.
That's so crazy, dude.
Yeah, they did like boat tours to watch like genocide where you take your kids out and be like, look, there's some Palestinians getting bombed.
I didn't hear about that, but I'm also
Gaza. That was like a year ago.
But I watched what's her name? She's that Hispanic woman from Texas that's running from Congress that does the crazy shit where like she shoots like dummies in the back of the head and is like, this is the salt. I watched her. She went to Gaza and went to a viewing binocular station to watch Palestinians get bombed and laughed about it.
It's sick. I think there was one U.S. military guy who said he was like distributing stuff, and the IDF just started they shot a kid that walked up to him, and they started shooting people. And you see the citizens how they're stopping the supplies get in, and they'll do the counter argument. Well, they supply people with food and stuff, but that's because they're a prison. They have them blocked off, or they can't go anywhere. Normal war, the women and children could flee. These guys are just stuck getting bombed.
Yeah. No, they're in an open air prison. They can't leave. And so it's like, maybe you need to make sure they get fed because they can't grow their own food or fucking
they don't
feed
want to
themselves.
feed them. It's just the UN keeps pressuring them.
No, they want them gone, man, because like we know now with Jared Kushner's big, like the Gaza, whatever it's going to be. And I didn't realize that apparently like the Gaza beach is gorgeous, dude. It's like white sandy beaches. It's like everything some big real estate developer would want in the Middle East to have a paradise. Yeah. And it's like we're starting to realize that like that was probably the intent of the Gaza genocide the entire time.
Oh yeah.
So
definitely.
these fuckers could develop the land and
I've been to
make
Israel.
billions of dollars off it.
Yeah, Hamas did not get through that border, and then didn't the military not come for like 8 something ridiculous hours?
6 hours, I think.
It's a tiny little country. There's just no
the size
way.
of New Jersey, dude.
There's military everywhere. People with machine guns everywhere. It's like
I believe it's like a 38-minute flight from Tel Aviv to where the attack was, and it took 6 hours to get any military
everywhere.
There.
There's no possible way.
There wasn't that day though.
Yeah, they came in with Apache helicopters, killed people. I don't know. It was set up from the beginning. And then I need to do more research on the Ukrainian war. I bet there's a lot of links there. You see Epstein talking about how it's being, I can't remember the exact details, but talk about good, how it's, in because they helped overthrow the government that was there. It was a pro-Russia guy. He was elected.
I talked about that from the very beginning. So many people got mad at me on my channel from 2 years ago. When I first started, I talked about the Ukraine conflict and talk about how I'm like, the United States went in with the CIA and 10 Special Forces group in 2014 and overthrew the government and installed a pro-Russia or a pro-American puppet. And the vast majority of what we've seen, like from the conflict since then, is because of that. And with Zelensky being the main installed puppet right now, and then now we know through, guess who was involved in that? Jeffrey Epstein. Go figure.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein, George Soros, another the same little hat he wears. The same people. See them. The CIA supposedly was involved, and then they put in Zelensky. Like, how is Zelensky getting charged? Isn't he like an actor?
He was an actor. He's a comedian. Like an actual comedian. Have you seen his stuff? Dancing around in girls' thongs and shit all the time. Oh, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, not surprised.
He's a comedian and an actor. And Army Special Forces was there training and killing people in the Donbass with Ukrainians for 10 years before that war started, or 8 years before that war started.
And how many people have died in that war? A lot, I believe. I hear different numbers. I think it's really
sure
high.
over a million on both. Like if you take it cumulatively for everybody since the war started, I'd say over 1 million people probably.
Clearing that land out for certain people, I would guess.
Well, do you know Zelensky said that, right? He said Zelensky just said like a month ago. He said we want Ukraine to be a giant Israel. That's what Zelensky said.
And if they have to kill a few stupid goyim in the process, whatever.
I mean, but it's not even that. It's not even like it's that far out of the realm of what they've done historically. It's the same shit the Bolsheviks did.
Yeah,
the same people that they're killing, the Slavics, were the same people that the Bolsheviks slaughtered. Christian Slavics. It's like nothing's really changed. They're just still doing it.
I remember years ago looking at communism being like, man, it seems so identical what they did back then to what they're doing today.
Well, who founded that?
It's almost like the same group of people manipulating things. Sure enough.
Who founded communism? Karl Marx.
Yeah.
A J. It's just like, okay, man, like at some point, and like you said, it's not all of them, but what we're seeing with these Epstein files, it's not good, dude. It's perpetuating everything we thought. To where we're going.
Imagine if there was a big group of like powerful white people running around that way, talking about another race like that and taking their children and doing these things to them and being like, oh, these stupid blacks or Jews, whatever it would be. Huge. And a lot of these people are probably still in positions of powers in these files that are saying this stuff. It's like former prime ministers of Israel. I need to look through this more, look for the goyim term, but I know it's like all over it. And they're just like mocking us like we're inferior.
I think I saw a post that said that goyim, I believe the word goyim is in the Epstein. The only word in the Epstein files more than goyim is Trump, I believe. I saw a post about that.
More than
I think Trump's in it 5,700 times his name. And then I think goyim's right behind that.
Yeah, well, Epstein himself said Trump was his best friend under a legal deposition
for 10 plus years.
10 plus years. I mean, you're friends with them for 10 plus years. I think you probably know the kind of stuff they're into. There's that letter that he says he didn't wrote that says they both like him young, something like that.
Jake, let's look at this. Let's look at it this way. Let's say if, and I'm not saying they are, but let's say the Diaz brothers were running a giant child sex trafficking ring for the entire time that you were best friends with them. You think you wouldn't have maybe caught on?
Yeah, I think I'm loyal. 10, I think I would. I'm loyal, but I would have distanced myself. I think, and maybe even.
I'm not saying that you wouldn't have. I'm just saying you think you wouldn't have maybe figured that out.
Of course, I would have. There were times when we were like everywhere together. When they were flying together all the time, you're doing this stuff. You're hanging out. Of course, you would see this stuff. You would hear. Plus, everyone's hearing rumors too. They call his plane the Lolita Express. I believe.
Lolita Express. Yeah.
It was a book about a girl, I think a 12-year-old that was like kidnapped by her abuser, and like it's just insane. All the like everyone knew it's like a well-known thing, just kind of like Me Too. How you see the old Oscars when they're like making jokes about girls having to sit on Harvey Weinstein's couch, and all the actors are just hysterically laughing, like and the girls are like, yeah, he did that to. They're not saying it, but you think the way they're laughing, like, oh yeah, he did that to me.
Yeah, and guess he's in the files too with Jay-Z. Also,
that's a bizarre one. Can you imagine that being that poor girl? Everyone's like, sure, lady. And this comes out.
But also, like, what a crew. Like, how gross is that crew? Jay-Z, Pusha T, Harvey Weinstein, and Jeffrey Epstein barring you.
It's the grossest of the gross.
Oh, dude, it's just, and I mean, that's probably why he fled the country. But all right, that's all I got for the regular scheduled plan. You got anything else you want to talk about? Or you want to hit super chats and we'll jump out of here?
Super chats. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, there's tons of interesting stuff. I think we hit a lot of it. We can hit
it's so much. It's coming so fast. And me and Jake talked about, like we were talking about probably doing another one of these lives maybe this week as we get more and more stuff. This has been a really big live. We've had a shit ton of people in here. So thank you all so much for being here.
I'll do more lives than normal, I believe, this next couple
maybe
weeks.
Maybe Jake will remember his YouTube password so he can go live on his own channel.
Yeah, so people go and follow me that don't follow me already on here.
Oh shit, we need to do that. Let's
and I'm gonna put this on yours too, so they need to follow you too.
That's what we need to do, because I should have had this the whole time, but
we didn't.
I was planning on having us do a live stream, so I didn't think about it. But we're gonna would
have been a lot better
if you're not already following Jake Shields, which is would actually kind of surprise me, because I feel like we have a lot of the same community. But I'm going to put Jake's YouTube channel here in the pinned comment. If you're not already subscribed to Jake's YouTube channel, make sure you get over there and subscribe to it. And then we're going to hit these super chats and probably call the show. I got to wait for this to chat to spam catch up before I post this in here. Here we go. All right, now pin this. Moving fast. Chat's moving fast. You guys are moving so fast. All right. We got it pinned. So if you're not already following Jake, make sure you get over there and follow his YouTube channel. So yes, guys, if you were just here for me and Jake's regular scheduled show, thank you so much. And now we're going to hit the super chats and work our way through them, and then we'll bounce out of here. All right. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Children going missing from detention centers. This is kind of an interesting one too, right? Like the hundreds of thousands of kids that went missing. During the border being opened.
Yeah. Do you know Ryan Mata? He's a guy I talked to maybe like a year or two ago, and he was telling me these numbers, and I thought he was some crazy guy at first, but he sounded put together. So I looked up the numbers after I got off the phone with him, and it was like 300 and something thousand missing kids. So let's say it's even a quarter of them are unexplained. That's just insane.
50,000, 60,000.
It's like 300. Yeah. So it'd be like exactly. So it's at the minimum. But it could be a lot more. If there's hundreds of thousands of missing, some of them, there's probably explanations and stuff, but not that many. There's no way.
It's gross. It's dude, I just feel like also, if you think about, if you think it wasn't like Epstein's racket was the only one, I can guarantee you
there's tons of these. Like there was a guy who tweeted out, he's a big crypto millionaire, tweeted out there's what island was he on? Maybe Puerto Rico. There's a Mossad CIA blackmail operation. They're going to torture and kill me. Few other things, then he was found dead the next morning. This was like a couple years ago. It's one of the ones that went viral, but
that's like, dude, I'm like, I think about it all the time. I think like me and you are probably like some of the worst people to try to like come and break in my house and kill me. You know what I mean? If you better bring more than one person, that's what I always tell the chat.
I'm definitely gonna try to take you out if you come.
Yeah, don't show up by yourself. But it's still scary, man, when you actually look at how many people that have tried to expose this stuff that have been schwacked over the years.
Yeah.
And we're always just like, oh, it was a suicide.
Lots of suicides. And like the Diddy, that's one of those, looks like it's one of those blackmail operations. They mentioned Diddy, they don't mention who he was working for. I believe he was working
for dude.
Clive Davis, I believe. Some of those record execs, but they're all like these gangsters having people disappear. They'd always brag about the guy being a gangster. He's probably the guy behind that. But he got left out of the court cases.
All right. AJ says Baal in Semitic language means owner or master. And since we know the ruler of the world, we can deduce that Baal equals Beelzebub equals Satan. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's like that. I don't know a lot about Baal, but that's kind of my interpretation. It's like a satanic deity, or
he's got like he's the goat with like everything going on. Your typical like what people think of as Satan, but it also transpires a lot of different religions as well. Goes way back for sure.
That's what I find interesting. All these different religions and cultures, they always have the same thing of these demonic entities. Even if you're not religious, like whether it's aliens or elves, there's always something out there that's bad.
And they're always either abducting or doing child sacrifices in like every culture.
that's been like done publicly, like the Aztec, the Incas, like all kinds of people, all, maybe almost every society, they've sacrificed children to these evil deities. That's been an ongoing thing. Once you start seeing this, the different themes, seems too crazy to be true, but they were doing this in the open a few hundred years ago. So,
and now
been accused of this forever.
They're in the files. All of it's in the files. It's just. All right, War says if they stalled the release and let the Poppy stuff out, there's no way our governments are in control. I'd assume they'd protect Bush at all cost. He's always been a shady figure in history. Guys, are you talking about George H.W. Bush? My dad.
Yeah, they're both shady.
My dad worked with George H.W. Bush in Laos and Cambodia while he was the director of the CIA. I cannot tell you the stories behind that, but they go pretty well in line with this if I were to explain what was actually happening on behalf of the U.S. government. So can't do that, but I'll talk to you about it offline. Yeah. But yeah, it's not surprising. It's actually when I saw, based off of what the stories my dad told me about Bush Sr., this doesn't shock me at all. When actually the stuff came out about George H.W. Bush, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Sounds like him.
Yeah. Told everybody Nick Fuentes is a glowy. AJ, what's a glowy? I forget what are you too old, Jake, to know?
I don't know that term either.
Chat, what's a glowy? Help us out.
Yeah.
Could we talk about how one of the founders of SEAL Team 6 was implicated in the files? So we talked about that already. Thank you very much.
Came on late. That's very disturbing.
Fox posted a 52-second about it. All right. Hey, guys, I'd say Epstein is alive, and so is Charlie Kirk, and Erica Kirk is involved allegedly and believe he died. I don't think Charlie's alive, but I think...
Yeah.
But I think the reality, it's a lot different than watching, like, Charlie got executed on live TV in front of 3,000 people. Epstein was in a prison cell that all the video camera footage went off. So
disappeared. And they finally released it, and there's 3 minutes cut out. But trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shot in the neck, it looked just too real. It looked like
It's for me, it's too much for that one. But Epstein,
Kirk's a little strange.
Yeah, we're doing a big expose on her weird, bizarre shit here this later this week. All right, Fox News silence is deafening, as are the other state-sponsored propagandists like Megyn Kelly. When will Fox News zombies wake up? They've been played. I lost much of my family to the propaganda. I mean, I think I talked about this, Jake. The big problem is, think about how many people in this country on the right, MAGA, older MAGA, exclusively get their news from Fox News. They're not on YouTube. They're not looking at Instagram or Twitter. They get on cable television and watch their news. And the fact that Fox News hasn't said a word about the second release means there's millions and millions of people in this country that have no idea it even happened.
Yeah,
they no idea.
Like me and you are crazy quack conspiracy theorists, but there's starting to be a lot more people waking up. It's all over Instagram, all over Twitter.
Yeah,
I'm not on Facebook. I need to get that set up. I'm assuming it's all over Facebook. It's like they're having a hard time keeping it in. They're trying. They did a great job of taking control of all the media. Same people also own all the social media, so we'll see when they start Xing us out.
That's a good point. When you said all the media, it's funny because the media is now Trump controlled, and that includes CNN. That includes in MSNBC. They are very, very soft on him.
It was weird watching how they switched on him, because the media was just, they acted like he was the most evil man after Hitler to have ever lived. It's insane. And I noticed that for the last election, they went soft on him, and all these billionaires started supporting him. So I don't know if he was probably always corrupted to an extent, but it seemed like it got more extreme. You had Zuckerberg come on, Joe Rogan acting all base with his like chain, like, "What's up, guys? I'm free speech now. I'm one of the guys." He did like UFC fight. He's probably looking so awkward and like, just like, guys aren't like trying to meet him. It's not like, oh, I want to meet Zuckerberg. It's like he's in the corner all like, his girl's like putting Vaseline on the guys before they go and fight, like putting it on there. It's like,
I remember, who did he corner for when it was so awkward, where he was like standing there as like people kept passing things, and he was like,
yeah, he clearly doesn't do with his hands. I'm sure he paid a good chunk of money for that.
Who did he corner for? Who was that? Do you guys remember in the chat who he cornered for somebody? You remember?
He did. You're right. It was so awkward. I hope he paid a good amount of money for that. I'm one of the guys. We're best friends.
Oh, that's crazy.
He's trained with some. He's had some good fighters come by his place. I know, like some.
He can afford it, dude. Jesus Christ.
He was sparring Marab, who could have just killed him, obviously, but it's just so funny watching him. Hey, at least he had the balls to go in there and spar him. Rob was going easy, but that's still just kind of funny watching that.
Oh, it was Volkanovski.
I think it was
that's what the whole chat.
That.
Yeah, that's what everybody in the chat's saying.
I was just thinking, like, this is so awkward. This is my coach, Zuck.
Oh God, that's funny. All right, AJ says Epstein worked directly for Baal because he was part of the synagogue of Satan. Well, hard to disagree with that right now. Do you see the video on Bannon with him? Yeah, I haven't watched this video yet, Jake. We both need to watch it. It just dropped right before we started. It's the Steve Bannon interviewing Jeffrey Epstein. It's, okay. Yeah, apparently it's kind of wild.
Everything's so wild. There's nothing that would shock me at this point.
COVID patent bought by Piebright Institute. I don't know about that one.
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Jay says, hey, Nate, Fox posted a video about 1 hour ago. It's 52 seconds long. Oh, they finally dropped one, a 52-second video.
Like an Epstein overall or the Epstein files?
Yeah, probably.
Hey, guys, these Epstein files dropped, you know. They mentioned Trump, but he's the good guy.
I bet they didn't mention Trump. I bet they talked about, like, Bill Gates. Bill Gates. That's probably what. Yeah.
Bill Gates got chlamydia from a Russian hooker.
Yeah, there it is. We're going to not talk about the 10 plus witnesses who've accused Donald Trump of raping them at 13 years old, but we'll talk about Bill Gates.
13. They're all 13. One got her head blown off.
All right. AJ says the people that own the jet turned off its radar at CK Utah event happened to donate a lot of money to the Chabad Luchabich in Utah.
Interesting if that's accurate.
Well, they did. So the first part of this is true. That did happen. That's kind of a crazy thing that happened with a plane. I don't know about the second part though. We'd have to look into that.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, they're a very powerful organization.
TH says, I overheard my son tell one of his friends, if your grades can't touch, you shouldn't either. My kid gets it, but adults are running our country. If your grades can't touch, you shouldn't either. Oh. If your grades is in like 8, 9.
Okay, I was thinking like school grades. I was like,
yeah, I get it.
That, like B. I guess I wasn't an A student.
No, like 10th grade, 11th grade.
I get it. Yeah, I was looking at different. Like, huh?
Yeah, I mean, so probably not like 60-year-olds and 13-year-olds. That's probably a break.
Yeah, just we can agree on that at least.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. Ben says, imagine all the people who were a phone call or a word mouth basis with Epstein worried by email records. Probably a ton. That's a good point. People that didn't want to say the grossest shit they had over email. Also, the fact that they just, all of these people just freely sent all this crazy shit, like talking about torturing and real ritualistic sacrifice over email, bro.
Yeah,
that's how brazen.
Torture video, and there's another one like, can I torture this one? There's someone giving Epstein permission to kill someone, unless it's Epstein permission, and they redact. Why are they redacting these people? Like, I want to know who's sending Epstein torture videos.
Because they are not letting us know who the perpetrators are. They're still protecting them.
Yeah. Well, Dan Bogino's on it, but what was his last name? Dan's got us. He's gonna get it, guys.
On the case.
I actually want to. I've never seen him. I didn't know who he was before he's appointed. I actually want to go watch his show now.
It's relaunching here, I believe, tomorrow.
It might be today.
Today,
get some crazy numbers. I'm like wanting to see what this guy has to say.
Chat, did he relaunch the show yet today? Oh, we know Chat's watched it. If it's,
I saw like an advertiser yesterday. He's like, "I'm ready. I'm back for America."
You're back for somebody. I don't think it's America.
Pedos. And then Kash Patel's tweeting about arresting all these pedophiles. It's like, no, you're not, bro. No, you're not.
Yeah. Who?
We know you're protecting them.
Yeah. What are you talking about? All right. Hey, you says Trump's played. Yeah. Trump just announced that he's going to sue. Who is it? The guy who interviewed Epstein a bunch and wrote the books, Michael Wolff.
Oh yeah.
Trump's going to sue Michael Wolff. Supposedly, he says that. But I don't think he will, because Discovery would then open up.
Go through Discovery.
Yep. Trump's plays to keep people in the left versus right mentality. It should be everyone versus the rich satanic people in power. It's all psyop. And too many people are stuck in their programming. Yeah, I mean, that's like me and you, Jake, are like really fundamentally aligned on that of like, dude, it's not Christian versus Muslim, black versus white, left versus right. It's we the people versus the fucking, apparently now, the satanic cabal.
I think we can worry about these other issues once we handle the satanic cabal. I think that's a little more important. Like, we can argue about like healthcare and what our tax rates could be. Those are some real issues, but it's But this is a lot bigger. And that's what they have us fighting over. It's the left. All these guys saying it's the left, and it's the right. Just absolutely hatred each other. And the hatred for each other is really sad. You've seen it, and both sides are guilty of this. When Charlie Kirk was killed and they were mocking him, and then these ICE protesters are killed, everyone's mocking him. It's like, come on, they shot the dude in the back. Like, we're really,
you know what's crazy is like, you know what my take has been on all those? This is terrible. That's what I said on Charlie Kirk. This is terrible. That's what I said under Renee Good. This is terrible. That's what I said under Alex Preddy. It's almost like it's pretty easy to just be like, this is bad.
The Bobbitt,
all of those things.
Bobbitt chick, all of them, exactly. Even military
Ashley Babbitt, that's also bad. They're all bad, dude.
Did that was such a big shooting the guy in the back was just so insane after they unholstered him.
Shot him 12 times after he was completely not a threat to anybody. But that's
and
my
the guy
point.
Was
is
an
like,
idiot, but that doesn't excuse what they did.
Exactly. That's my point. Is like these things are all bad, and you think we could agree on that, but apparently we can't. So
you've done a great job dividing us.
Yep. All right. Juan says, I have a theory that the files are Trump's dead man switch. He was going down regardless. All roads lead to the Z's, and the world will not support World War III, as they are implicated too. Sacrificial lamb. I don't think so. I've saw this one before that like, hey, they released the files because Trump refused to invade Iran. And I'm like, dude, I don't believe that for a second, because this dude has not shown any amount of like willingness to stand up to our greatest ally. So why would he start now?
No, I just don't believe I have some of those QAnon people wanting to come on. I mean, just like, I hope you're right, and I'd apologize if they are. I'll fly them out first class, treat them, but they're just, if he just let 100,000 kids die first, like, I'm not trusting this plan.
Yeah,
I don't trust his plan.
Yeah, no. And also, even let's say he even wasn't like, even if he wasn't in the files at all, he still has done everything in his goddamn power to stop the files from being released.
Yeah,
it's just
called Massey a loser, flipped out, and the other girl that was on him, he
Marjorie
flipped out.
Taylor
He goes after everyone. Yeah, he's done everything in his power to keep them hidden.
Yep. All right. Halos fan says, when Dems had control of the e-files, they would have absolutely released everything of Trump's R-ing anyone if it was there, because it would have invented. It's ridiculous to think otherwise. Come on. Okay, this is a really low IQ comment, and the reason why for this, and we've explained this a bunch of times.
It is
if you think that the Democrats, they could have released, but they didn't. Well, because they could have got Trump. No. They're protecting the entire elite apparatus, left versus right. And that's why and people don't understand this, both the left and the right tried to stop the release of the files because they're all in it. And so for people to be like, no, they would have released it if Trump was in them. No, they fucking wouldn't have, because all their buddies are in it.
That person obviously has not looked at what he's accused of doing in the files.
Yeah, probably look at the new release of the files. That'll probably help.
Yeah.
But also, the government is not going to, I keep trying to tell people this because I worked for the government. The government is not going to willingly tell on itself. They're just not going to do it. It's like this, Jake. Let's say you committed a bunch of crimes, but you're also the person that has to turn yourself in to prove that the crimes happened. What are you going to do?
I'm not going to do it.
Exactly. Right. And so now we're asking the government to turn in itself. They're not going to fucking do it, guys.
No, that's the hard part, holding them accountable when it's literally the DOJ, the FBI, the president. It's not a good thing. And I'm not quite sure what the answer is, but the people who need to start uniting and figuring it out and just putting too much pressure on them.
I think for people who think this should be the realization for you about the uniparty. You should be starting to learn that the uniparty exists, and that they are there to protect the elite government apparatus, not you and
not stupid Goyim.
No, yeah, exactly. So no, don't get caught up thinking like, oh well, it's the Democrats. It's like, no, it's fucking all of them. It's all of them. And we know that.
It's fine to like one party better if you want, but you got to realize both parties. Look at the country. It doesn't matter who's in charge. If we keep getting more debt, keeps falling apart. What good have politicians done in the last 30 years? I can't think of anything.
30? I got to go back to JFK to find a president that I think has done anything remotely beneficial to this country. That's not just sold our country out at every whim.
And what happened to him?
Well, they shot him in the face. It turns out
on TV. A guy filmed it who was he was chosen by God. The guy that filmed it, he was one of them too.
Of course. All right. Let's protest the Capitol with wood chippers. Yeah, we do need a lot of wood chippers right now for all the PDFs involved.
Right.
Ben John says, what's interesting is the admin is giving us 5,000 puzzle pieces, not the complete jigsaw puzzle. They haven't bothered to actually tell the story. This is a good comment. Like, this is what we were just talking about, Jake, is like, it's so much. Everything's intertwined, but it's so much that it's hard to like tell this story in a linear fashion for people to understand it.
Yeah, it's way too overwhelming. I remember when they came out and had a podcast like 4 hours later, and I was just going through them, and I wish I just looked for like an hour, because I was like, by the time I went over there, I was just like so overwhelmed. I'm like, I don't even know where to begin with this stuff, and it's still just so much stuff coming out. Didn't they release a couple million files? And there's I think
3 million
more. I think there's, and
that's just the tiny bit about them. Yeah, they got another. I believe
those files
another at minimum 3 million.
Yeah,
and that's not even the photos. That's not the videos. From what I've seen, like the few versions of the photos and videos that have scraped through with Epstein and like 5-year-old girls and shit, and it's just like, fuck. If it's gonna get worse than this,
and it sounds like it gets a lot worse.
It's got to get a lot worse, because they're guaranteed they're giving us the least bad stuff.
Yeah. Hey, hopefully there's some people in the government that are some good guys. Hopefully there are some good guys in the FBI and DOJ.
There are, dude. There definitely are. There's definitely good individuals and good people in the government, the military, and everything like that. And it kind of makes me wonder, a lot of these really bad files that are getting put up, because you've seen them, like they're getting put up on the website. All the stuff about Trump, all of those victim statements got put up on the DOJ website, and they tried to delete them all after.
Yeah.
And it's like the Department of Justice is putting them out and then retroactively trying to delete the really bad stuff, which kind of it makes me feel like there are people that are just like pushing, because there's so many documents, like 3 million documents, that I think there's people that are just at the Justice Department that are like,
there has to be
fuck it, let's not redact this, and let's just let it sift through.
A few years ago, the FBI like posted the protocols of elders of Zion, just like tweeted that out. And then later it was like deleted and retracted an apology. It's like, okay, someone put that through.
Yes, dude. That's happening with these files too. So Callie says China hadn't helped Iran disable Mossad's Starlink. The currency protest PSYOP might have stayed on track. The U.S. Armada strikes would have been knocked out, blow to the people of the regime, probably as a distraction. China hadn't helped Iran.
Dude, I think China, I don't know the details behind this, but I think China, I don't know exactly what they did, but they were doing something. They were bringing in planes supposedly, because it looked like we were about to attack Iran a couple of weeks ago. And again, I don't have the details of this, but it appeared like attack was ordered, and China was flying.
Yeah, they definitely were.
Planes in, and the rumors are, I think the New York Times reported that Epstein called Trump and had him call it off last minute. So he's the one that was deciding. That's what the New York Times reported that. But there was like planes of China were flying there. I think that's how they got a bunch of the Mossad assets. So I think a lot of people that were getting hung were Mossad assets. Somehow they got.
That definitely is happening in Iran for sure. Mm-hmm. But also, there's a lot of. I mean, people don't realize like the from what I also heard is we were supposed to attack Iran, and actually Israel asked the United States to stop because they realized they weren't actually ready to deal with potentially with like the Iron Dome and the Patriot missile system batteries and everything. Actually weren't equipped to be able to deal with how big of an arsenal Iran has actually built up.
Yeah.
And so Israel went, whoa, hold on, give us a second so we can get ready to go to war.
I could see a possibility of China or Russia hitting a strike against our military. It's like we push them so far, or we're so overextended, the world's against us, like Europe's doing operations in Greenland to potentially fight against us. We're not popular. We're extended right now. It's like, that would be the time to maybe like sink a U.S. ship or something.
Well, if you're China, I don't think you attack the United States. You don't want to risk that, but it's definitely the right year to invade Taiwan.
And
just tell the United States, what are you going to fucking do about it?
Exactly. Yeah. Who are you to talk? You just kidnapped the president of Venezuela.
And I can tell you from a guy that was in a unit that was the CJSOTA for the war in Taiwan, if it kicks off, we're not going to do anything if they invade. We're gonna declare sanctions. Sanctions.
Yeah,
that's it. And then what we'll do is we're going to destroy all of the super chip semiconductor facilities that Taiwan has, because they produce all the highest level chips. We'll destroy all those. We're going to pull out all the Taiwanese scientists that go with that, and then we'll basically rebuild the infrastructure here in the United States. and we'll just let them have it.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we really can do. We're not going to war with China.
No, that's actually probably the plan. I'll just say that. I can't say too much, but
yeah.
All right. Christopher says, at what point do we come together to stop all this? I mean, we're doing what we can.
Yeah, we're trying to get together. We see the next step because it's not easy. The people we're up against are the ones that can easily kill or lock us in jail. You say the wrong thing, they're throwing you in jail real quick.
But I mean, we keep talking about it, and so I think that's the only thing we can do.
Yeah.
Look at Lechner, or is this Lechner or Lesnar laughing when Trump says that it's this was not Lechner, Lutner. Look at Lutner laughing when Trump says it's all fake news. He can't control himself. He's laughing so hard. Jake, I don't know if you saw this clip, but when Trump is talking about the Epstein files and he said that they're all fake, Howard Lutner standing next to him, and he just starts laughing hysterically about it. Like, you can't fucking touch us.
I remember that because he just knows these people are just so arrogant. And hopefully that's their downfall. I mean, they've had problems in the past before, quite a few times. I think 109 times, or a lot more than that, actually.
That's historically, you're right on that one. Just nobody says, let us never forget all the highly intellectual alpha males who were scammed cat litter boxes in bathrooms. What is this?
I'm not sure what that's referring to.
I got a cat litter box in my bathroom. A little munchie right here, dude. That might be a good joke. Wood chipper time? Hell yeah. Hamilton says, can we discuss why Nick F has taken such awful positions as late? He went from generational run to full-blown neocon and pedo protector. We talked about it at the start of the show. I know, Jake, you're friends with him.
It's hard.
I mean, I've liked Nick, but it's like, it's not just the Epstein stuff, dude. He like all of a sudden pivoted and was like, cheering on us, like invading Venezuela and like cheering on us bombing Iran and bombing Greenland. And it's like, dude, what are you and then he did the Epstein stuff. And like, to her point, I've been looking at it too. Like, when did he become Ben Shapiro? When did he become the neo?
Yeah. No, I have not liked his takes lately. I hope it's just a small thing and he'll get back on track because he's a guy who had a ton of respect for him. He's, helped wake me up. Great speaker, extremely talented, but I have not liked his takes lately, particularly the Epstein thing is just beyond acceptable to me.
He's been super important. And I explained this on the show before of like smashing the Overton window wide.
He helps so much.
Like, the reason why we're even like, honestly, if we really want to be honest, the reason why me and you can even talk about this on YouTube without both of our channels getting banned immediately. Yeah. Mostly because of him. I mean, it really is.
Yeah. Well, he helped so much. That's why I don't want to attack him, but it has not been good takes lately.
You got to keep consistent, not be fucking weirdo. AJ says we got to vote with bullets, and well, all right, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to
comment on that.
Nope, not going to talk about that. We absolutely disavow any violence, AJ, on YouTube. I'll tell you that. Run the likes up. Let's go. Thank you. Cash App's wife. Oh, Cash Patel's wife. Yeah, that's not the girlfriend suing Elijah Schaffer to silence him. Interview him, please. Oh, I would love to interview Elijah Schaffer. I've covered that story.
Yeah,
I know. You talked about that story with him being sued by Cash's girlfriend?
Yeah, I'll connect you with him because I know Elijah.
Oh, you do him? You do?
Yeah.
All right, there you go, guys. Yeah, I'd love to. I've covered that story quite a bit on the channel.
It's wild how they're suing him and tracking him and whatnot.
What they're suing him for is the craziest shit too.
Shows like, the FBI will go after you.
All he did was post a picture with no text. He posted a picture of Cash and his girlfriend in response to somebody else's tweet, and they're suing him for that.
That's
for
insane.
The defamation through implication, as in
he'll probably win the suit, but it'll cost him like
$2,000 because you can't hurt you. Defamation and implication, like those two things don't work at all. The whole point of the whole point of
lawfare.
Yeah, the whole point of defamation is I knowingly defamed you. You can't be like, hey, you implied that I defamed you. Like, no, with a picture.
They'll probably lose the lawsuit. Well, depending on who the judges and stuff are, who a lot of the judges are. But
do you know? Do you know where they're trying to hold the court case?
Where at?
In the heaviest J district in Florida.
Shocking.
That's exactly what they want to get a conviction. That's what they're doing. All right. Will you stand up when they start arresting people for the tax strike? If you guys don't want to pay your taxes, that's fine. I keep telling people you're a grown adult. I'm not about to fucking stand up to the IRS myself.
Yeah, it's like
because I'll go straight to prison.
List.
So that's a it'd be great to like want to strike, but yeah, I'd go straight to prison. So I'm not I'm not trying to stand up against the IRS at the moment. And I suggest you guys be smart about it as well. Not paying your taxes you're talking about not paying the biggest fucking mafia in the world the money that you owe them.
Yeah, it's a good reason to get thrown in jail. And I get it. I don't want to either, but it's probably not the move.
Again, you're going up against the biggest fucking violent mafia in the world, which is the U.S. government.
And we're seeing the files are proving what we've been claiming. And even worse.
So be careful.
Even worse than we've been claiming.
Yeah. Vampire says they always do something when the files drop. I bet we invade Iran the next drop. They're doing all this to distract us. P.S. Why Lemon and Kamal? They're 100% coming with a distraction soon. I don't know what it is. It's most likely going to be Iran. I'd like to say that's too obvious, Jake, but I literally said before we went after Maduro that the next distraction was probably going to be to invade Venezuela or bomb Iran. And like 3 days later.
Hopefully it's not something bigger than Iran, because who knows with these sociopaths.
Have you reviewed this file yet? It all goes depth on what DJT did to that poor little girl. I mean, maybe. I don't know the files directly by name.
There's some bad ones, though.
Yeah. Bays, so what's up? Friend of the channel, Real Bays. What you got going on here? If we're going to make change, we need to do it now before they roll out the new tech and software they're working on. I've been saying months. They brought in the immigrants to justify ICE for us. You know, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this today. One of my former military buddies I was talking to, Jake. The ICE stuff feels very bizarre to me because we haven't deported almost anybody in a year. Almost nobody. 200,000 people in 1 year. Only 5% of them statistically have criminal backgrounds. So the fact that there's all of this massive optics on ICE and they're shooting people in suburban neighborhoods, you never see any of them in Memphis or south side of Chicago or like any of these gang-ridden areas ever. We never see that. And it's getting to the point, it's kind of feeling like they don't actually care about deportations. It's almost, it feels almost like optics to rile the American people up. And so now the Trump administration can actually back off of immigration completely. And I think they're just going to stop deporting anybody. I think that was the entire point.
Agree. That's why these people were like all cheering on the shooting of them. It's like, obviously I don't want to kill citizens, but also it's going to make it so they can't deport people. It's like it's such bad optics. They have their faces covered. They're running around doing these operations. They're using Palantir. It's a way to get them to use this software that they use for kill lists in Palestine. So it's a little concerning to me. I think they're more likely to go after people like me and you than the illegal aliens.
I think so. Hunter says, my heart goes out to the 4 people suffering through the Dan Bongino show. Sorry for your loss. Did he put his show up, guys? I didn't see the chat as we move through.
Are we allowed to watch that and react to it? I'm gonna have to do that.
Is he on YouTube?
I think he's Rumble.
I don't know where he's putting his show.
The channel always boosts him. I think he's one of the owners. So that's a little concerning.
I think he's on Rumble. I think he's on Rumble is his big thing. He's got almost 1 million people on YouTube. No, he's put out some stuff 10 days ago. It's getting I'm gonna have to watch struggling on the views
to him.
Yeah, but he's got a couple videos that have come out. Apparently, we'll have to watch those. Valhalla, have you talked to your SOF special operations vet friends? How do they react to the new Epstein files? Yeah, everybody's grossed out, dude. For the most part. I do have some buddies that are
not that SEAL Team 6 guy. He's
no, actually, the funniest thing is you know who the first people I sent the SEAL Team 6 Dick Marchenko stuff to?
That?
My SEAL Team 6 buddies. I'm like, hey guys, what the fuck do you guys got? I sent it to my buddy Andy Stump, and I was like, what you guys got going on over here, buddy? He's like, fuck, dude. And I'm like, yeah, it's getting weird out there for you guys. But you know,
weird for the whole country.
Yeah. All right. Trump vindicated by the latest Epstein files, of course, in his world, inside his hermetic bubble where the truth is there and created. Jake, it's actually kind of scary to me, the fact that you could see he believed that. He was like, oh, people told me that this completely exonerates me. And it's like, whoa, dude, you're in a crazy. I don't know, man. I think he's
clearly a sociopath, egomaniac too. They use him as a puppet, but he's also has major ego problems and can be a little difficult. That's why sometimes they're like, hey, let's throw a couple of these things out to give you a reminder.
Yeah. Yeah. Like keep you in check. Like, hey, let's get you back in the fucking rails here, bud. Doing what you're supposed to do. And that's why I think we're going to bomb Iran in the next week. 2 weeks, maybe.
I think you're probably right.
All right. Mark's safe from ever playing racquetball with Epps.
Is he a racquetball guy?
He probably is. Jake, tell me that you saw the story. Dude, this is how crazy this whole thing. The Bill Gates banning Epstein from Xbox Live story.
No.
Tell me that you saw that.
No, I missed that. He got banned from
Bill
Xbox
Gates
Live.
banned
Was
apparently
he
Jeffrey
got
Epstein was a
chlamydia
big
by his,
Xbox. I don't know what game he's playing on Xbox. Apparently he's a big Xbox Live guy. Bill Gates banned his account after the whole STD
I'll show you,
with
Epstein.
Melinda, and he banned his Xbox Live account, dude. There's emails talking about it in the files.
That's
that.
hilarious.
You got one of the richest people in the world banning Jeffrey Epstein from Xbox Live over one of his hookers giving you an STD.
That is hilarious.
Think about that.
The pettiness. That's your hooker gave me chlamydia. I'm banning you from Xbox.
That's a real story, Jake, in America right now.
I missed that one. That's like the best one yet. At least there's a little humor left in the world.
But you know what I mean? Like you were like, we're laughing about it, but then also thinking about the fact that happened.
But then afterwards, they went back and plotted how to do COVID-19. Like, all right, I'll let you back on Xbox. We have more important business.
And then they planned a worldwide pandemic together.
Okay, we can get past this chlamydia and Xbox scandal we had.
We got to figure out how to get this global-wide pandemic going
together.
Oh my God. It's so outrageous, and we're laughing our ass off. And it's also true. It's also a true story. So there's that. That's what we're working with. All right, Penna, what's up, brother? With the big dono. Thank you so much, man. If making a stand to protect my family, friends, and loved ones bring me to the ultimate demise, so be it. Respect for building the big tent community, Nate. Thank you, Penna, for always being here. Penna's one of the biggest supporters of the channel. Appreciate you, brother. And that's what we're doing, man. Is again, I got a lot of respect for you, Jake, because there's so few people in this space that are just willing to just hold their ground and just say whatever the fuck they want. But also just lead with integrity to be like, this is wrong. And I'm going to talk about it. It's so rare right now.
Obviously it costs you money. I've been offered good amounts of money to just, do a little slight, let people have a little bit of slight control. You start getting these offers like it's crazy, but integrity is too important to me, especially there's some very serious issues. I'm not going to sell out on this insanity that's going on. Well, first seeing the Palestinian kids getting killed, but now it's like our own kids.
You're not going to sell out on the child rape?
Yeah, that's my red line, whether it's Trump, whoever it is.
I thought it was everybody's, man.
Yeah, I think Nick was just trying to be edgy, but that's just a joke that you can't
But outside, like with Nick's trying to be edgy and he's joking about it. These other motherfuckers they're hiding it or defending it, like legitimately trying to find ways to defend this.
And the people if you're not speaking about it, you're a problem too.
I think you're just as bad. If you're Megyn Kelly, like all these big channels that like you've built your platform off of accountability of the deep state. And then when it comes time to it, you're nowhere to be found and you're silent. That ain't for me, man. Vampire says on second thought, we will probably invade Cuba. That's
possible.
Probably coming. We're in the era of bread and circuses, but the bread is rotten and circuses sucks. I just talked about this on my last live, Jake. This is what I feel. I'm like the UFC. I was talking about with Jesse. The UFC White House event to me is like the most blatant bread and like Roman blatants, like Roman bread and circuses, like Gladiators Arena. Not that I don't want to watch it because I'm going to watch it and I think it's awesome. And like. And I'm a sucker for it too. I'm like, yes, right? When I watch it, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, this is like the most obnoxious example of bread and circuses. Look over here that there is, dude.
I love someone asked Sean Strickland if he was fighting that card, and he's like, nah, I don't want to fight.
I loved his response. I love that response.
We clash sometimes, but we also get along.
Yeah, dude. I saw him say that. He was like, nah, I'm good, man. I don't want to hang out with the Epstein client list.
That was good.
Right, Sean Ryan has an episode with a special ops guy who says he saw a black object ship that was involved in child trafficking. The mercenaries who were working with that all spoke clear American. I'd have to see what the actual clip was from that. I haven't seen that one. Is it possible the Epstein files could bring World War III?
Yeah,
World War III? Yeah, probably.
Try something a lot bigger to release the rest of it. They'd rather blow up the whole world, it seems.
Yeah, we laugh about it, and we joke about it, like, oh, World War III. I think these people would watch the world burn before they got accountability for themselves. The elites.
Yeah, I have to hop on a flight in about 90 minutes. The airport's right by, but I should probably wrap up in like 5 minutes or so.
Okay, no, you're good, man, brother. If you need to take off, then I can finish. We got we're gonna take longer than that.
I'm not far from the airport, so I can do a couple more minutes, but I just gotta.
Let's do like 3 or 4 more, and then we'll get you out of here.
Perfect.
All right, a couple more, and then Jake's got to bounce, and then I'll finish up the show. We're almost done. They're going to take those young men and draft them. In September 24th, Biden automated the Selective Service Registry. Anyone get why? Also, Antifa, balls won't simp. There's a lot going on here. We actually really don't need a draft right now. Military recruitment, surprisingly, is incredibly high.
Surprisingly.
But at the same time, not that surprising, because do you know, Jake, when military recruitment ramps its highest? When the economy is the worst for young men.
That makes sense. People can't get jobs. They need money. The job market's really bad right now, I'm hearing from young people.
It's horrible, especially skilled labor. So like graduating out of college with like master's degrees, PhDs, there's no jobs for anybody right now.
So for like terrible jobs, people take them. But there's people that have like good resumes looking for jobs, that people are trying to get hired that don't like, way below what they should be doing.
But if the economy is horrible and there's no jobs, the military is a great option. I mean, here's the thing. I dropped out of college and joined the military because I was fucking up my life at the time. It worked out, but that's what a lot of guys do. So, all right, 2 more and then we'll let Jake get out of here. Skilled in Japanese jiu-jitsu. I beg them to say that to my face. That is the ages, or that those ages are okay. Please. What's Japanese jiu-jitsu, Jake? Is that a type of jiu-jitsu? I thought it was.
Yeah,
I thought jiu-jitsu was jiu-jitsu.
Overall, jiu-jitsu comes from Japan, so it gets confusing.
Oh, really? I thought it came from Brazil.
They say Gracie jiu-jitsu comes from Brazil, but they changed it up a bit because a lot of they took from like a judo guy trained them. So
okay.
And then I started calling it American jiu-jitsu because I used to fight with the Brazilians a while, so I termed it American jiu-jitsu. Took it for the better. So really, ultimately, it all comes from Japan.
Okay. I didn't
People don't realize like 50, 60 years ago, there was massive fights in arenas between like Brazilians and Japanese. Like MMA was like big and it died out.
That's cool. I didn't know that. Very cool. All right, 1 more and then we'll let you get out of here. Jesse on Fire is the dumbest man in the world. Jake's a much better guest.
Jesse's a good guy, man.
We're friends. We're both friends with Jesse. So no, I'm gonna clip this and I'm gonna send it to him.
Yeah, Jesse, you're an idiot. No, just kidding. No,
Jesse's a great sport, dude. Jesse's fucking an awesome dude, man. And you can make fun of Jesse and he can take it. That's what I love about Jesse.
No, Jesse's cool. I did a show. I'll have him on again. This guy's not gonna like that.
All right, let's let you get out of here, man. I know you got to get to a flight.
It was great talking. We'll stay in touch. Keep up with all this crazy shit going on. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a good one.
All right. See you, buddy. All right, we'll let Jake get out of here. Thanks so much to Jake. We'll finish up the super chats together, and then we're gonna jump out of here after that. It's been a good episode. Thank you all so much for sticking with us. Hope you guys enjoyed having Jake on. We'll definitely have Jake on again. Me and Jake are good buddies, so I'm glad that we were able to start doing some content together. All right, here we go. Easy Peasy says, I'm going to get flamed so hard for this, but clearly wasn't, clearly wasn't working for Israel. Come on, guys. There's no way that they're going to recruit an HS dropout who moonlights as a brazen serial artist to do spy work. This is, I hope you're kidding, because we know through the files that he 100% was working as an intel asset for our greatest ally in the CIA. So, yeah, this is like 4 years late, buddy. We're way past that. We know that's confirmed at this point. Dershowitz. Oh, what's up, Bates? Dershowitz says, for the Rothschilds, he's a connector for people like Trump. Here we go. Here's a better take from Bays on who he probably was. Dershowitz works with the Rothschilds. He's a connector for people like Trump and Epstein. Will Ross, as he was facilitated Trump's bail out in the 90s to the Rothschilds. Wait till you see what I got on this. Erica first, though. Yeah, Bays has got some pretty wild Erica Kirk content coming up that we are planning on doing an episode on Friday. So it should be a good one. He's got a lot of interesting stuff coming on that one. Okay. Y'all think Global War on Terror was an early Epstein smokescreen? No, not a smokescreen. I think they just want to destabilize the Middle East for our greatest ally. And it's worked out very, very well for them. So I hope his sick pals get the electric chair. Yeah, I just want them all drug in at this point. Just drag every goddamn one of them that's in the files in. Probably just detain them and unredact it all, and we can figure it out from there. Got to have Jake on again. Just subbed to Jake. Yeah, we definitely will. Ask little Jake about his Tate fandom. Tate is another abuser of women. You think Jake's small? Are you sure? Jake's not little, dude. Jake's not much smaller than me, and he is one of the best fighters in the world. So you should probably relax. Probably relax with your mouthiness and talking shit about a guy that could fold you like a lawn chair. That's not what I do. All right, fellow long tabber. Yeah, man, he's been sorry if this gets clipped to you, Nick, but you've been one of the biggest disappointments in the Green Beret community. I've been checking his Instagram every day to see if he's made comments as the big masculine Christian leader in America, to see if he's going to denounce everything in the Epstein files. And no, he hasn't said a word. He is silent like the rest. Very, very disappointing because I like Nick's content. But to see him fold and turn into a little shill and not have the guts to stand up and talk about this, pretty disappointing. Pretty disappointing. You know, de oppresso liber, Nick, you remember that phrase? Yeah, that applies to 13-year-old women that were raped by the Epstein client list in America, by the way. So maybe you need a little reality check on that. Anyway, I don't really give a fuck if he sees that or not. But yeah, very, very disappointing for a guy who I thought was, a stand-up masculine Green Beret type of figure, which he's not, it turns out. Very, very sad to see. Sad to see. He's just another shill for Trump. It is what it is. That's the way it goes. Katie says, remember when the elite tech bros started building bunkers and everyone was worried they knew about the natural disaster coming? I feel like their plan B, because they knew we'd find all this out. Might go full Luigi. Well, they're not only building bunkers, Katie, but that ballroom that they're building, that is, from what we're hearing, most likely a giant underground bunker that they're building at the White House. And the ballroom is just the aesthetic to put on top of it. So that's the way it goes. But you're not wrong. They are doing that. And Mark Zuckerberg built like $100 million bunker in Hawaii. So very good point. Epstein was swapped by corpse of Hillary Clinton's brother, Tony Rodham. They're similar. He died 2 months prior. External ear details don't match the real E's details. Search now. I don't need to search. I've seen the photos. I wanted to use them in this episode when we talked about if he's still alive or not. But can't put those on YouTube because I'll get my account banned. So that's the way it goes. But to your point, yes, that's not the same person. That corpse does not match Jeffrey Epstein. Nick says China cost of energy 1/6 USA. Guys, you guys crush me with these type of comments. Richard Werner banks money for consumption and assets, housing, and none production / infrastructure. I have no idea what you're talking about, homie. Thank you, but dude, this is like QAnon shit. You gotta get some like sentence structure to this. Because I have no idea what you're talking about. Thirsty, what's up, brother? Zelensky literally played himself before he came himself. Yeah, that's true. His famous TV role as a comedian who somehow became the president. That tiny hat simulation is glitching, and he is a tiny hat, it turns out. But yes, you are right. He actually did that as a comedian. Pretty wild. We're only seeing a fraction of what they actually recovered from the Epstein properties. I'm sure the emails are starter to the main craziness. Yeah, the emails aren't even the real documents, guys. There's no like real proof in the emails. There's people talking back and forth, but they have photos, they have videos, they have everything. They're just not showing it to us yet. All right. Autistic says you're saying there was U.S. soft fighting in the Donbass before the war started. You think they're still not? No, not before. Oh, before the war started? Yeah. So after 2014, yeah, we were training, advising, and equipping the Ukrainian military so they could go fight in the Donbass, and they killed 20,000 ethnic Russians, I believe, in the Donbass. And yeah, and not only that, but I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but here's what I'll say. From the very beginning of the war, there may or may not have been at least 2 Special Forces ODAs in Kiev at a minimum helping fight that war. May or may not have been from the very first day. Although you were told no boots on the ground. I'm not saying that that's true or that I know that. I'm just saying it's pretty likely. Okay? So yeah. We were definitely involved in that from day one. But again, I've got no idea. But just a couple winks on that one. Okay. Have to ask the hard question. Could the CHS claims about Trump be unreliable? The DOJ dumped a lot of info saying nothing enough to appease the masses. Trump survives and we still don't know who's compromised. Sure, man. Like if 15 victims all accusing Donald Trump of the same thing isn't enough for you, then that's fine. That's fine. Sure. Maybe they're not. I mean, it's all of this is just unsubstantiated and unreliable, right? I'm sure Donald Trump, who was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein in the 80s and 90s for almost 15 years, he knew nothing about this. He had no involvement with this, even though he was Epstein's best friend for a decade and a half. Yes, sure. It's all unsubstantiated. Or if you're like me, once 20 people accuse you of the exact same thing, well, you know, just because you're beyond the statute of limitations doesn't mean you're innocent. But you guys can believe whatever you want. I've seen enough, personally. You know. Hey, Nate, do you see the gold market manipulation on Friday? JP Morgan bought a bunch of selling contracts. I did. Silver and gold have been going absolutely out of control. Tanking, back up, back down, which is kind of crazy because, you know, usually precious metals are like pretty safe of an investment. And I still think they are. But yeah, the metals market has been absolutely out of control, which was bizarre. Like, I think silver moved like negative 15% in a day last week, to your point. Crazy. Although I do think precious metals are still a really good investment. I'm out to actually put a bunch more money into silver if it keeps dropping. Gaethje versus Topuria. Who you got? Topuria, probably. I mean, I'm a big fan of Justin Gaethje, but I think Topuria is too good. Just as an aside. Pat says Epstein was swapped out from jail with the corpse of Tony Robb. Oh, we did this one already. But thank you again for the second super chat. And yes, I agree. Google that at home. I'm not going to put it up on the screen, but it's definitely a thing. It'll blow your mind. You'll see the side-by-side of the corpse with Big E, and you'll see that it's not the same person. UFC 129 was the bomb. Thanks for keeping it real. That's to Jake. They ain't going to stop. Thank you, Joseph. AJ says Nikolai Mushigian was the crypto billionaire killed by CIA Mossad Puerto Rico. Got it. There are Epsteins all over the world. Yeah, I believe that. Oh, sorry, Johnny. We didn't get this one before Jake took off. He said, Jake, what's up, my guy? This is awesome. How's Nick doing? I tried to get fights to the fights in the UFC. Did he get married and why I heard it wasn't good for him? Love you both. Nick Diaz Academy. So I'm not going to speak for Jake, but I did talk to Jake about Nick when I was out there in Vegas, and he said Nick was doing very, very well. And after some of the troubles he's had, apparently he's doing really well now. So good to hear that, because I'm a big fan of both the Diaz's. All right. Moto says, operators Fuck Nation reported today, General Dane, which I love OAF, by the way. His channel is fantastic. I use his stuff on my channel all the time. Today, that General Dan Kane held closed-door discussions with Eyal Zamir, the Israel Armed Forces Chief of Staff, likely on Iran. More distractions to come. Yeah. Like we talked about earlier, I'm pretty sure that's coming. I'm pretty sure bombing Iran is the next step. in the distractions. We should see that again. Who knows? But I think in the next month we're going to see that. Real-time game theory, people denying versus explaining. Earl says the sick thing about all the E stuff is that the criminals in prison have less tolerance for PDFs and a swifter justice system for those sick fucks than MAGA hats do. Hope more wake up. This is 1,000% true. 1,000% true. Yeah, good luck being a PDF in prison. But if you're out here in America and you're rich, it's absolutely fine, it turns out. Crazy how Ryan Dawson was exposing this years ago. Where was everybody? Ask Jake how many UFC fighters have reached and know what's really in charge even with this organization. I have to ask him next time he comes back on for that one, but thank you. Awesome to listen to people with a brain. Well, thank you, Ripcord. I appreciate you. More Jake, less Jesse on fire. Jesse has the IQ of a hot dog. You guys are brutal. Come on, guys. Jesse's a good dude. Jesse's smart. Jesse's one of my good friends. Don't bully Jesse. All right. God damn. Not that he cares because he's got a great sense of humor, but leave him alone. Leave Jesse alone. American Citizen says if it was bad, they should all be punished equally. No quarter, 100% agree. Bringing them all in. Left, right, center, Republican, Democrat. Haul all their asses in. Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Elon Musk. I don't give a fuck. If there's proof they did the stuff that they did, which I believe there is, haul them in, put them in jail, probably on live TV. That's where I'm at with my politics. Joseph says, recently I was fighting on the front lines in Ukraine and your videos helped me decompress, relax. Really appreciate your wisdom and authenticity, brother. If this is true, man, I'm glad you're okay, first of all. But if you got some type of decompression, relaxation out of my videos while you're fighting a war, I'm glad I could help, man, in the little way that I could. That makes me feel really good. And I'm glad that you're doing all right. All right. Sci-Fi says Trump simps for Israel to create an AI-run police state using Palantir. See the latest Epstein audio leak with the Israeli former Priam. You Barack, Israel equals the enemy. Yeah, all those things are happening, turns out. Nate, the half-worn-off sticker at the bottom of your glass is driving me crazy. Half-worn-off sticker? There's no half-worn-off sticker on this. What are you talking about, bro? Look at that. No sticker at all. You crazy, dude. Unless I got a different... that was my drink. I don't know. My bad, guys. Somebody said you have a good radio voice. Well, thank you, dude. Thank you. Glad I could help with this deep, sultry voice. Not just fucking around. All right, let's keep moving. We're almost done. Almost done. Do we need to make the Department of Justice the fourth branch of government to be counteract the judicial and legislative branches just going face down, ass up for the executive over and over and over again? Yeah, honestly, it probably should be, because why and this is what we're seeing now. The Department of Justice just being a leverage for the executive is very bizarre. It's not the way it's supposed to be, but that's the way it's being run. So maybe there does need to be some actual separation between those, but at the same time, constitutionally, that's not supposed to be how it's being run, but it is. So that is what we call, and I hate to say it, fascism. And I'm one of the last people to call shit fascism in this country, but that is actual fascism that you're seeing between, and this is called consolidation of power, right? By the autocracy, by the authoritarian, which is, basically ringing in other different factions of the government and gaining control over them so that one branch or one person can control everything. That's actual fascism, guys. Like, by definition. So it's not good. It's not good. It's time our DNR, our two-party system. The dinos and the rhinos need to go. Thanks, Nate and Jake, for the good show. Thank you, Suanna. Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, the two-party system's not doing great so far. Cat litter for supposedly confused furry youth to business. Is Munchkin still in here? Oh, she is. Munchkin's been... we had Munchkin chilling in here the whole time. She's sleeping, though. I didn't realize... Oh. I didn't realize that she hung out with us this whole time. She owed it to us after almost destroying the entire stream when I came in here. Little shit. He was sleeping on the laptop, on the keys of the laptop, and closed out everything. Anyway, Anyway, I got a little sidetracked from that. She's a little bit awake. Okay. American Citizen X says if Donnie were America First, he would arrest a few landlords and employers who give aid and comfort to the enemy. The match has been lit. War has been declared. Peacefully protest without your 2A. Yes, correct. You're not allowed to protest with while exercising your Second Amendment rights. Just so you know now, according to MAGA. So enjoy that. Russia had intel on Trump since the 80s. Russia hacking during election in 2016. Then Putin's best friends with Trump. E-file, blackmail, Russian asset. I don't know about all that, but I do know that when Donald Trump was about, what was it, $3 billion in debt or $2 billion in debt, do you know who bailed him out? Russian oligarchs. So whether that means he's compromised or not, I don't know, but that's how he got out of jail financially. So there's that. We will never vote ourselves out of tyranny. I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. Sup, guys? Good combo. How about these young Prego centers? Candace had an episode about propping the farm system to get you a fresh stock of babies. Evil. I don't know about that, but I also would not be shocked. I would not be shocked. Hunter says, generally, what the fuck do we do as a country? This isn't simple. Oh, just get back to work tomorrow and don't vote. This is like a, hey, let's rise up and do things I can't type here. Yeah, and we can't talk about them on YouTube because you can't advocate for anything like that. But what do we do here? I don't know. The biggest thing we can do here is continue to talk about it, continue to inform the rest of America about it, continue to be appalled by it. And I think we're slowly, hopefully turning a corner for accountability. Maybe. But it might be a long road ahead. We're doing what we can. In my small little corner of the world and my small channel that I have here, we're doing the best we can to raise awareness. And we'll see how long I can do that. But I'm not going to stop. Not going to stop until they force me to stop, as you guys can see by now. We'll just see how long that happens for. Hey, what would you say to someone who refuses to admit Trump did anything wrong while blaming the other side for everything? What would I say to them? I mean, I have family members that do that. I usually don't even, I don't bother trying. And I know this kind of sounds, you might be like, whoa, shit, that's kind of black pilled. But like, look, man, if someone in 2026, with everything that we know, is still just stuffing their head in the sand like an ostrich and just Trump did nothing wrong and he's the savior of the country and he's my daddy, there's no point. Nothing you are going to say by now. If they haven't figured it out by now, nothing you are going to say is going to change their mind. So if it's somebody that you really care about, a parent, a sibling, I would suggest you just don't talk about politics at all. Like if you value that relationship, just throw politics aside. Both of you agree you're never going to talk about politics to each other and just enjoy that friendship or that family connection, because you're not going to change their mind, man. If they haven't figured it out by now, they're not going to fucking figure it out, dude. It's just not going to happen. So that would be my advice for you. Anyway, I know it's hard, but that's what I do with my family members that are, hardcore. I have hardcore far left, hardcore far right family members, and I'm right in the middle as an independent. I just don't talk about politics because I'm not going to change their mind. Maybe slowly here and there with different subjects you can do it, but you try to hold your ground, it's not going to happen for you. Surprised we haven't seen Vince McMahon. You're right. Vince McMahon not being in the Epstein files is actually pretty surprising, given what we know about him. And maybe this exonerates Vince. We got to get him back. We got to get him back in the WWE. I love the WWE, guys. I do. So, but this was pretty disgusting with the stuff that came out about him. All right. K-Spat says, Nick Fuentes never supported the bombing of Iran. He explained exactly what the plan was 2 years ago. When Nick Fuentes was speaking about he was defining what a PDF actually is. He says it's disgusting and immoral. No, he didn't. He said specifically, Jeffrey Epstein is not a pedophile because raping 14-year-olds is not pedophilia. That's what he said. So no. And that's why even people like me and Jake Shields, who have supported him in the past, and Jake is personal friends with him, is denouncing him for the comments. Okay? Don't try to defend pedophilia around here. Don't send me these. Don't send me these super chats trying to defend pedophilia. That's me being nice. I'm trying to be nice in that response. Just don't do it. Okay? Don't send me shit like that. It's just, you're never going to convince me that raping 14-year-olds isn't pedophilia. So don't send me stuff like that. It's a waste of your money. All right, Jimmy says, Epstein couldn't happen in a bubble. What prevented the victims and easy targets ABC agency? Because Greatest Ally has assets everywhere, including the Vatican. Interesting. Aderpie says, Nate, I met a Polish guy tonight who bragged about their military Highlanders. I'm guessing that they're special forces. Ever worked with them? Also, does the U.S. have a snow unit like in Sweden, Finland? So, sure, we do, actually. So we don't call them snow units, but for us in Army Special Forces, it's mountain teams, which I was on a mountain team. Shortest part of my career, about a year and a half. Spent most of my time on a combat dive team, like a scuba dive team, and then also a military freefall team. But I did spend a little bit of time on our mountain team. And yes, we're the ones that have snow units, snowmobiling, skiing, all that different type of stuff. As for the Polish, I have not heard of the Highlanders, but I did work with Polish Grom. They were actually right next to us in Afghanistan on my deployment in 2018, and they're really good dudes. So, but I don't know about their Highlander unit. But the Polish Special Forces are actually really fucking good. So there's that. But I don't know about Highlander. Maybe that has something to do with, again, maybe they're Polish Grom. I'm not sure, but that's who I worked with before. All right. Trump 2.0 has been amazing. I now believe in Russiagate, Pizzagate, and I need the U.S. to expand its acreage. Don't you think we need more living space? Hashtag make Russia Alaska again. Wow. Okay. Well, I know you're being sarcastic and it's funny, but at the same time, yikes. Because you're not wrong. This did make us believe. Trump did make us believe in a giant Luciferian child sex trafficking cabal that runs the world. So thank you, Trump, for that. We got that. You're right. They've got that going for us. Columbia says, what about the billionaire who got the military to show him a good time in a war zone? Is that a common thing? I don't know what you're talking about. What billionaire? When did that happen? What war zone? I have to see what you meant. Why didn't you read my super chat? I just did. K Spats, you were the one that tried to defend pedophilia. And so, yeah, not for me, dude. Don't do that. Also, as a woman, super weird. Why are you defending 14-year-old girls being raped? I don't know. Bizarre. This is like Megyn Kelly, I guess. The Megyn Kelly approach. Super weird. Don't send me those super chats. Defending pedophilia, because I'm not going to agree with you ever. All right, Jack D says, where do we go from here? Trump is obviously a PDF compromised by our greatest ally. We need a new leader for the party or a new party. I feel we are screwed. What did we spill blood for in the past 20 years? Seriously depressing me. What did we spill blood for in the last 20 years for in the global war on terror? Literally nothing outside of destabilizing the entire Middle East so that Israel could become the hegemonic superpower of the region. So we did that. That was awesome, right? But yeah, we do. And 2026 is going to be a blowout. And then 2028 is going to get real interesting. Because what you're going to find, I believe, is that there's going to be a massive referendum on Trump. Anybody connected to Trump will automatically be thrown out as a potential candidate. JD Vance has no chance. Rubio has no chance. And it will be interesting to see who kind of rises up to become a potential candidate. Because if we run, or if Republicans try to run JD Vance against Gavin Newsom in 2028, it's going to be a complete mogging blowout, as Gen Z would say. It's going to be disastrous for Republicans. Gavin Newsom is going to absolutely wipe the fucking floor with JD Vance or Marco Rubio. So I don't know. Hopefully we can get some better candidates on both sides, maybe, right? Some America First candidates on both sides. That would be cool. 2 America First candidates, left and right, running against each other. 2 populist candidates running against each other. That would be cool. We'll have to wait and see if we get it. Anthony Aguilar, what's up, man? We gave Anthony a real hard time on the show before. And again, we may have been wrong about Anthony, it turns out. But we'll have to talk more about that in a little bit. Keep posturing the truth. Epstein controlled the U.S., the autocratic seizure of power. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you, brother. We should probably have Anthony on the show here pretty soon. Kind of beat him up quite a bit over some things with Gaza that I think he was probably right about and I was wrong about. So there's that. I don't have a problem admitting when I'm wrong. You guys know that on the channel. So what do you think? Should we try to get Anthony to come on the show, guys? We'll let chat decide. We'll let chat decide that one. But I do think, from what I've seen from Anthony following that, we're pretty aligned ideology-wise. So I'll reach out to you here pretty soon, Tony. Thank you very much, buddy. We should probably get you on the show. As long as you're not too mad at me for do a poll. All right, we can do a poll. We could do a poll. Let's start a poll. Have Aguilar on the show. Chat, what do we think? Love democracy around here. What do we think? All right, we'll keep moving. But thank you, brother. Appreciate you. We'll talk more. We'll talk offline. My uncle saw Trump once in the street in New York, and 43 years later, boom, herpes. Okay. Did you see Angry Cop's breakdown of the shooting? I have not. Please check out my music video before it's banned. Questions the Tragedy of Charlie Kirk by Jesse Lee Lord. Please share with Patriots. You gotta questions of the tragedy. I'm not going to pull anything up on screen before I watch it ahead of time, man. Send it to me on Instagram. You're the only true unbiased creator. Thank you for service. Thank you very much, Brendan. I appreciate that. There are some good ones. Jake, there's a lot of Jesse. There's a lot of guys that are good, man, in the space. But I appreciate that. Bradley Nalon says it's been 20 years since Red Wings. Does that mean the drone footage is declassified, and can we request it? I don't believe there's drone footage that exists, big dog, and I've talked to a lot of the people involved. There is definitely footage from the Taliban, but there's no drone footage that exists as far as I know and what I've been told. But I could be wrong, right? Why don't you ask AI how long would it take to manifest a huge JE download? Just invent it? I don't know. What are you saying, that they AI'd the Epstein files? Yeah, I don't think so. Doubt it. We have to stand together as we are one side, or as one side. We are Americans. Bring both sides together. I agree with you on that, Nicole. That's the entire purpose of this channel. Just try to bring left, right, center, black, white, Christian, Muslim, all of us together. Just be America first, and we're doing the best we can. Bobby says, "How about we voting the same idiots back in office? That might fix some stuff." Hell yeah! All right, what's the poll say? Have Anthony Aguilar on the show? 90% said yes. 10% said no. All right, well, that'll do it. All right, I'm gonna hit Anthony up as soon as I'm done. So there you go, chat. And expect to have him on pretty soon, then, if he wants to come on the show. That is, we haven't really, obviously, haven't talked to him about it yet. All right, strange Biden's son isn't there either. Isn't that funny? The Bidens aren't really in the files, and Hunter's not in the files. Y'all back off Jesse. He's as based as they come. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. The defending my boy. Thank you. Bob gifted 5 Valhalla VFT memberships. Thank you very much. Marjorie Taylor Greene versus Newsom. JK. Oh, also, not my channel, but I can't talk about it. Can't talk about it because it's not my channel, but we're working on some content with maybe somebody involved. And it's not Newsom. We'll just leave it there. All right. JD wasn't talked about the files, only shorts. I love JD, but don't get why he's not talking about the files. I mean, that's why I love, because he stands on child. Has he not been talking about this? God, I hope he has. He's the anti-pedophilia guy. He's covered this stuff extensively. I would assume JD's been covering it. Nate, I disagree politely. Donald has shown every inclination to cheat, and the Covfefe drinkers lap it up. He'll find a way to steal the election. He'll rig 2026 and 2028. 2026, I don't think is going to happen. It'll be too hard to do. Everybody knows it's going to be a massive blowout. 2028, ooh, we might have some martial law involved by then. Have you ever had Sean Ryan on the pod? I have not had Sean on the pod. I have not been on Sean's pod. Sean and I have talked back and forth about doing some content together, potentially going on a show. Haven't ever worked it out. I like Sean, big fan of his stuff. Just haven't got around to working anything out yet. So hopefully, eventually, But yeah, we've gone back and forth on it, but we just haven't got around to doing it yet. Hey, you says we won't get America First candidates in the next election. I've realized the system controls our options. It's an illusion of choice. That's fine with they're fine with whoever wins because they're puppets. Yeah, the left versus right. That's the problem with the two-party system. Is this is exactly how it's designed to give you two choices that the establishment controls both of, to give you the illusion of choice. I think we all know that at this point, though, right? I think Bill Gates is going to celebrate VD Day this year. Maybe with a little bit of chlamydia, if he's up for it. Apparently that's what he does. He's live streaming about it right now. Who's that? Who is? Anyway. All right. We made it through the super chats. A little bit shorter of an episode. Thank God. Well, we're not on a regular scheduled episode. We're on a Monday. 2.5, a little over 2.5 hours, under 3 hours. That's pretty good for us. It's pretty good for us. We didn't do our typical 5 hours as you guys keep me ranting forever. But the good news is it's Monday. So what does that mean? We have our regular scheduled live stream tomorrow night, political live stream, working on a guest I think you guys are going to be big fans of. We'll see if I'll be able to pull it off by then. Got a lot of guests that I want to have on the show, a lot of cool guests coming forward. So we're trying to bring you guys like really cool guests as we're doing these live streams as we continue to do these. Here we go. All right. Anthony reached out, said, I'd love to and be honored. Your voice and your platform are important. We are both brothers in arms. Both seen a lot. We agree a lot. Respect you, fellow Green Beret. We're all in the fight together. All right. So, Anthony, I'm going to message you on Instagram here as soon as I'm done, and we will coordinate it. We'll get Anthony on. Maybe we'll get Anthony on tomorrow. Maybe he's free. We got a lot of crazy shit we could talk about. All right. We'll see if we can work it out. We'll definitely get him on soon. And then we got some other cool guests that come on. Thank you all so much. We will be back tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And can't wait to see you guys there. Going to be a lot to talk about because we got the crazy Epstein shit plus all the crazy shit happening in the world and politics. All right. So thank you all so much. Thanks for hanging out, being with me and Jake. Make sure you guys go follow Jake's channel as well on YouTube if you're not already following him. And hopefully I will see all you guys tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Thank you all so much to the moderators. Jasmine, also new moderator. If you guys didn't see, Trans Tim Kennedy has made the list as one of our moderators. So we got to love that. Thank you to Joe Saunders, another moderator. Thanks to all the moderators, Luna, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And then Humble says, not sure who will be, but I have a feeling a woman is going to be voted in 2028. You may not be wrong on this. I think if you could get it, like maybe a Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't know. But if you get an American first female candidate that's just a badass, there's possibility in that, I think. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow night. See ya.